Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. But ask about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, host of the showman. Still silly sauce with the show in. Till then, it's half moon open. Sometimes go takes like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a molding. No proof. Like I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded again. What is in store? Like under the seat of the driver's side floor, it's Gucci's galore. So many more from 6 in the Mars, never more. Man, if I'm honest, the damage is done. Silly sauce, unlimited funds. Join us on Twitch for unlimited fun. J Fig Marcos, you with it or what?
Tobin, two Tobin is.
Oh, thanks, Low Dog.
I know what you're thinking. Low Dog, still here.
You know, I was actually just reading an article before we got on the air from Barry Jackson and Anthony Chang about the Low Dog situation. And apparently everybody's cool. You know, apparently he's going to come back reportedly by after this road trip. So I'll be boots on the ground for the Lowry return. But apparently he's, you know, hopefully going to be back from this knee injury.
Come on. Wait. Look, that's all fine and great. But you telling me you're not excited for tonight?
Oh, dude, I am so excited for tonight. I can't wait.
You just want to see some new blood?
First of all, I missed them so much. And it's almost funny. Like, I feel like I forgot that, like, you know, tonight's a big night. The Heat are back in action. Because I was, like, trying to convince my wife, hey, should we go see Cocaine Bear? But now I just realized I got to watch the Heat tonight, baby.
By the way.
What's up?
You know what? I'm mad at you.
Why?
Because you sent me these rando texts. Lana, you're too good for him. Right? And I go outside and I come back in and I take a little gander at my wife's TV.
Yeah.
She's watching Love Island.
She is? Oh, that makes me so happy. Big Spoon is watching Love Island? Now, the UK version or the American version on Netflix?
I don't know.
Oh, well, I mean,
I just knew you had a whole bunch of little hot people always skimping out. One guy took off his shirt, and then everybody else was like, "Oh," and then the girl's like, "Oh, if you got it, go ahead." And I'm like, "Oh God."
Well, it's only I don't like the American version. I only like the UK version.
Is that the American version?
On Netflix, it is. Hulu has the UK version.
Oh, okay.
Which has this Ron, who's a real snake, and just finally Lana, you know, spoiler alert, you know, woke up and smelled the coffee and realized this guy was a real piece of work, you know, who was always toying with her, you know, wanted to go with this Sammy. You know, Sammy's fine. I'm not trying to say Sammy's not a certified possum holder, but he'd always say these digging comments at Lana, like, oh, you know, listen, you're at least as good looking at her. At least. You can't even lie to a woman, right? What's wrong with you, Ron?
My favorite text, and this Tom is a dummy, a handsome idiot.
Oh, he is handsome. He is handsome. But he's like, this is Tom, right? First of all, I love on Love Island how everybody gets to fake their jobs, right? So they introduce him as a footballer, but he plays semi-pro football. So he's not a professional soccer player, okay? And this guy, he walks in, he's 6'5", handsome, right? Great teeth, which is surprising for England. And this guy, as every girl fawning over him, there's always one guy who walks into a Love Island season. Every girl wants a piece. But, you know, eventually Love Island is about love. And these people want to be loved. And this guy just keeps making out with women. And he just goes, I don't know what you want from me. It's not like I cheated on you. He goes, you just told me you only wanted to be with me. It's just a kiss. I don't see what the big deal is, love. Like he's just very stupid. But handsome. He's just a handsome idiot.
I gotta Google him.
Telling you. So anyway, let's get some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
First headline is we got a packed show today. Okay. We have a lot of action to get to here on the program. One, we have a pair of Heat tickets for every hour of the show today to give away. Heat Hawks for March 4th. So that is what is it, next Friday, next Saturday, something like that.
Saturday.
Next Saturday, Heat Hawks
Ooh,
with future
Saturday,
Heater.
take your significant other to a
Yep.
Heat game. Who
Yep.
they play again? Who they play?
Play the Hawks and future Heater
Hawks.
Trae Young.
Oh my goodness! Like it just figures.
What?
It figures after our conversation yesterday, we would be giving tickets away to see said Garden Gnome.
That's right.
And even has the Garden Gnome top.
He does. He looks like Travelocity.
That's what you should get the people to yell at this.
Point for Tobin!
So you guys are saying you
and
don't
then
want...
guess what?
Hmm?
Or everybody could wear green and start singing Leprechaun songs.
Are you guys saying you don't want my Love Island text anymore?
I'm saying that I don't watch Love Island, and it's just like random. Like I'll ask him to watch something, or I'll ask him, did he watch something? I don't have time for that. And then you send texts of Love Island.
Yeah.
You know what other show she watches that I've gotten a little looky-loo at?
What? Full Swing?
Reacher.
Reacher.
Reacher is a show.
Oh. I'm not into Reacher. I tried Reacher. I'm just like, you know what? Whatever.
Isn't that guy like he almost looks like a wrestler or something?
I don't know. Have you watched has she gotten into Tulsa King yet?
No, dude.
Not.
You and 3 other people all related to Sylvester Stallone are the only ones that watch.
Oh no, dude. Sylvester Stallone is back. Like I think this has been critically acclaimed, Tulsa King. And I believe season 2 is already been picked up.
Spell it.
So anyway, we got a packed show today. We got a pair of tickets to give away for the Heat and Hawks every hour. Okay.
Yes.
We're going to talk to on the show today our friend Gilbert Burns. He is also coming on the show today.
Whoa!
Yes.
You didn't tell me about that one.
Gilbert Burns is joining us in the final hour of today's program.
Nice.
He will be talking about his fight with Jorge Masvidal. Also on the show today. Although I recorded it, so, because it's Jorge Masvidal and I can't lose our FCC license. Jorge Masvidal is on the show.
Hey, let me tell you, there has never been a moment that we have talked to him where underneath the table we didn't have our fingers crossed.
That's right. So we don't do him live anymore because that almost got us fired.
Smart.
That being said, he was great. And also, there's a thing or two to say about Tua with his judo.
Little insight.
Yep.
Although he's not that much of a grappler, but he knows things.
He knows things.
I mean, you don't have to grapple when somebody run at your knee and headbutt it. Which was that his last win?
No, Nate Diaz was his last one.
Oh, Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz was his last one.
That was a bloody mess.
Yes, it was.
If a Diaz is in the octagon, there's going to be blood.
So the Heat are back in action tonight. They take on the Milwaukee Bucks. Tip-off is set for 7:30. Coverage on the ticket is at 6:15 with pre-heat. The Panthers, they take on the Buffalo Sabres at 7 o'clock. And other action, you have the Hurricanes tomorrow taking on FSU at 4. The Pinks open up the regular season tomorrow at 7:30. And the Miami Marlins open up Grapefruit League play tomorrow at 6:10
We got
against the New York Mets.
South Florida bonanza.
Yep.
Whatever sport tickles your fancy. There's golf in Palm Beach. The Heat play tonight. We got the Panthers. We got the Hurricanes. And we got the Pinks.
Speaking of golf, why don't you give us a golf update here? Brought to us by our friends at the Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee, serving golfers around the country since 1968. I watched Full Swing last night. That was my golf coverage. I also, after Mrs. Tobin fell asleep, I was like, you know what? I'm a good husband. I'm not going to skip ahead on Love Island.
Nice.
I will go over to Full Swing.
All right.
And I had a great time.
Ready?
Yes.
So Carson Young is leading at 6 under, but he's through 4. So some of these guys have started off this morning because it goes late, early, late. So they mix it up. So the guys who teed off late yesterday, tee off early this morning. Mike Wallace is in second. He's through 12. And Chris Kirk is 4 under on the day. He's at 5 under. For any of the leader after round 1, the 2 leaders, Joseph Bramlett and Billy Ho. He tees off at 12:40. Joseph Bramlett tees off at 12:07. And if I get down to Jason Duffner, because I don't care what you guys think, I'm interested. He tees off at 11:56.
That's your guy.
That's my dude.
That's your dude.
Come on, think about this. I've known him for 30 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You ever talk to him about me?
Yes. I told him that now the thing about Jason, right, is that when we're together, he talks trash, but he's not a trash talker. So if he were to come on the show, I don't know how open he would be. You know what I mean? Because he's not everybody always asks, how are you guys friends? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I mean, we're, you know what I mean? We're fine.
Ooh, by the way, I see my boy Adam Svensson. Go Bucks. He is 3 under. He's not.
Oh wait, who did I talk to that went to? Oh, my doctor. Remember the doctor that I told you went to Michigan State?
Yep.
He went to med school at Barry.
Barry doesn't have a med school.
He went to school in Barry.
So he went to pre-med at Barry?
I don't know.
Oh.
He just said, I went to Barry. I said, I know somebody that goes there. That went there. I said, starting to question whether I should be seeing you.
We'll take a quick break. Back with more after this. All right. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Happy Friday to everybody out there. How's the leg doing, Leroy? What's the update there, man? How you feeling?
I'm fine. I got a gel injection. Supposed to lube it up and help with movement and stuff, but I was, pretty good before then.
Tummy
so,
okay?
yeah, I could go for some food. I'd go
Well,
for a little pick me up.
I still owe you. I still owe you a lunch for the 3-point.
Oh no! Oh,
true.
I know.
I'm waiting.
I know.
I'm waiting for.
I'm waiting for a heat
return.
win. I think I'm gonna come back after a heat win.
Oh wow!
So everybody can enjoy it.
Yeah,
Make
you
me
can use
buy
my
it.
You know what
code
I
if you
mean?
want.
Make me buy all the pizza.
Yeah.
Half off.
Yeah,
Well,
half off.
that is true.
Yeah,
that is
means
true.
That means long as we don't get Hawaiian pizza.
I feel like I get a lot
I
of
feel
pizza
like-
for $45.
I feel like that's wasting my money.
a lot of half off pizza. For
Really, I was gonna say
$45.
that's really $90 worth of pizza.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Pretty
So
cool.
you talking about you could probably get
That's probably like how many Papa John's pizzas? Is that like 8 pizzas?
Let's just say
No,
like
5.
No way. Let's say each pizza is like $12-13 for whatever reason. I don't know. Things are crazy. 90 divided by 13, 6.9. It's about 7 pizzas. You pony
Wow.
up $1. Look at
Although
that.
you got a tip, so you know.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Is that half
Hey,
off?
no, here's what happens. You spend your $45.
Yep.
We'll take care of the tip.
Yeah. J Fig will take care of the tip.
So this was the story from Barry Jackson today on Kyle Lowry. Lowry, who missed a 7th consecutive game with knee soreness on Friday, has been targeted to return next week, according to someone briefed on the situation. But the Heat want to make sure that he has regained all of his mobility before he resumes playing. Eric Spoelstra said he's working and making sure he's healthy. We want to get him feeling right. Make sure make sure we get him to the way he's capable of moving. According to 2 people briefed on the situation, Lowry and Heat officials have spoken about moving forward together this season after the trade deadline passed without the Heat finding an appealing opportunity to trade him. Any lingering issues involving Lowry and the Heat have been resolved, and that, along with optimism about his knee, contributed to the Heat's decision to use its 2 open roster spots on power rotation players Kevin Love and Cody Zeller, as opposed to allocating one of them to a point guard in the buyout market. Lowry due $29 million next season in the final year of a 3-year deal. Trade could be revisited in the offseason depending on how the season plays out, but Lowry said before the deadline he preferred to stay with the Miami Heat. Lowry is at least aware of the possibility that he could be moved to a bench role, though that decision is still pending and could hinge on part of how the Heat and point guard Gabe Vincent play during the 3-game road trip, which is today, Milwaukee, Saturday in Charlotte, and Monday in Philadelphia. So there we have it.
You can get 2 out of 3 here. You'll feel good about your boys
absolutely.
coming back home, right?
Yeah, that was a crazy game yesterday between the Philly and the
They
Grizz.
never led, and then all of a sudden,
Surged. I still can't believe this Kevin Harlan is not like a bigger deal in broadcasting. He makes games
he's
so good.
awesome.
He's
Yes.
so good. Dude.
Like, I know he's he's had a very successful broadcasting career, but it's crazy to me he's not like the guy on any network.
Sure.
Yep.
With how good he is. You know?
Is there a dark past? I don't understand.
I don't know.
Like, is he gambling on the side?
I've never looked into it, but he is so fun listening to him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And man, did you guys see John Moran at the end of that game? Just standing there?
Yep.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
Just didn't move, didn't go for a rebound, didn't even fake it. Just like inbounded the ball, saw his teammates brick, get a rebound, brick another one, and he just stood there. Didn't do anything. Really weird.
Very weird. You think that was something that was like, we haven't seen emotional outbursts from a lot of the young players?
I don't know. It's been a strange turn, though, because I feel like John Moran has definitely gone from like beloved to heel all this season. Because who had like a negative thing to say about John Moran? And now it feels like the worm is turning ever since the whole no, we're not worried about anybody in the West. It's like, I don't know.
Well, here's the deal. Regardless of who you are or how good you are, everybody will turn on you. They just get tired of you, right? Like, like you come into the league, gangbusters, super athletic, incredible dunks, and then the media and ESPN and everybody jumps all over it, and then it becomes the John Morant show, and then fans get tired. Like, hey man, what did you say? Hey, let's watch a John Morant almost dunk.
Well, that's the thing is like he was so beloved that they would show failures on making it look like they were highlights.
It catches up. Man.
I don't understand where we've gone from this to that, but
there has never been a player that at some point in his career went from beloved to, because you're just there all the time. And that's actually a compliment. If you play long enough to where you can be on both sides of that, then and you're still playing, that's almost like a compliment. But it happens to everybody. Guess what? As far as Aaron Rodgers, he could do no wrong. They're not giving him any support. That guy's got that team on his back. And then the last couple of years, oh, for crying out loud, come on. Right? It's the same thing with Tom Brady. The only guy that I maybe never really got it like everybody else was maybe Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I mean, like he got a little bit of a.
They complained about him only winning one and not being able to beat Tom Brady, but that happens in sports all the time. I mean, you look at when all those guys played against Jordan, right? Like they look at Chuck, like they look at Chuck now and say, "Oh, Chuck didn't win a championship." I'm like, yeah, but unfortunately, dude was playing when Jordan was playing. You know, that's like all these guys who made all this money in golf. They don't have any majors. Why? Tiger had them all.
What do you make though of the Heat having to like talk to Lowry about lingering issues? Like it's strange because we're at this thing where it's like, okay, well, was he not healthy the whole year, or was there grumbling about the idea that they did want to move him to the bench? Looked for a trade, couldn't find one. And it's like, hey man, if you want to move on to something, we gotta get this all right next year. It's just it all seems like they're putting on a good face about this, but it doesn't feel like everything is quite okay.
I wouldn't say that. I would say it's sometimes you come into a situation. Okay, I can give you me, for example. When I got to Minnesota, Robert was hurt for the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I was basically just filling a role, but I did really well. So now when we come back that next year, they, run Robert and I'm picking up the scraps.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, whoa, what do we do? Like, I can't get, no more run. And it got frustrating, even though I understood beforehand what was going on. And sometimes I think that when teams expect something from a player, for whatever reason, sometimes they don't get exactly what they expect. The player gets frustrated. The team gets frustrated because they think that he can just turn it on and do it. Now they're saying it was an injury. So they're like, well, hold on. We want you to be 100% healthy before we put you back in that situation, because basically we won't hear that as an excuse anymore.
Yeah.
And so these are the conversations that you need to have that everybody's on the same page, whatever that page is.
I think it's interesting what you say about the things change. Like, and I think it's basically changed year to year. Like, I just think that
it does
because of Kyle coming here where the young guys were, and I'm specifically speaking about Tyler and Bam. You have two things that really swung. Both of them have gotten better, not as much in need of having that point guard there. And the other thing is Tyler's gone into the starting lineup, and that's kind of shifted things because one of the best, actions that they have is that two-man game between Tyler and Bam. So you go from the situation of having Kyle being there to kind of be the setup guy for Bam to Bam having his own setup guy and Tyler at certain times, and then not needing it because at some points, Bam is running the offense.
He looks lost. He looks lost at times because other people are doing what he was brought in to do.
Right.
And so what ends up happening is that we look at Kyle as slipping, and he's trying to fit in when before he really didn't have to. It happens in sports all the time. Like, think about this. When I got to Minnesota, we had Chris Carter and Jake Reed and another guy. We just, different guys played the slot of the third or fourth receivers. And then Randy came. So you're talking about a guy that, say like a Matthew Hatchett, who was that third guy. Now Randy comes in, lights the world on fire. He becomes one. Everybody moves down a spot. It don't mean that your game is worse. It just means that this is working for us now, and you're not going to get as many opportunities. And it happens in sports all the time. And we tend to look at that as, well, this guy isn't any good anymore. And that's kind of how people are looking at Kyle. And it's unfair to him because the team is just different with Tyler and Bam. And if Kyle's not going to shoot that three and be that off guard that can make that three,
yeah, that's
now
the other
you're
thing
trying to find somebody to fill that role, and it gives him even less opportunity.
That's the thing that's frustrating about it, is like, it's not only that, he's had to change roles, but he's just
Hesitant.
He's incredibly passive when it comes to
Right.
taking shots.
Right.
Like he does. And that's the thing with Gabe. It's like, all right, if you bring in Gabe, Gabe's going to shoot. Gabe's going to shoot those shots if you give it to him. If you kick
which
it to
is
Gabe
what
Vincent,
which is what the Heat promote. Like, the only complaint that they will ever give you about a 3-point shooter with the Heat, they don't care about misses, and they don't worry about that, even though they want to make more. The only time Spo has really complained about his shooters is when they won't shoot.
well, if you want to go see somebody shoot, Trae Young likes to shoot the basketball. He's taking on the Heat. Vegas thinks that the Heat are the favorite to get him in the offseason. I don't know that was my lead-in, but anyway, if you want a pair of tickets to Heat and Hawks for March 4th, let's give it to caller number 7 for Kyle Lowry. Caller 7 gets a pair of tickets to Heat and Hawks, 305-567-0560. That's 305-567-0560. We'll continue on with some more Heat. Kevin Love making his comments before his debut tonight. We'll get to some of that next.
for your Miami Heat.
Yeah. 15 minutes of heat for your ass right here on 560 WQAM. Take you up until 2 o'clock here today. Jorge Masvidal, Gilbert Burns going to join us on the show today. Excited about that. That is going to be down at Miami-Dade Arena on April 8th. UFC 287 tickets, I believe, go on sale today. So
I'm gonna look at that. I'm gonna see what the price, because you didn't have any information for me. So I'm gonna see what the average price for a major event like that would be.
I heard this.
Hey, did you take care of
It's
me?
hard.
No, because you haven't been here, and because I didn't know what the issue was, but we can get it fixed. Don't worry, we're not out of time.
Okay.
But I need you to come in next week. That'd be nice. One day. Just one day.
Okay. All right.
One day.
We got him to Jupiter this week.
We did get him to Jupiter. That's true. I did make him drive 2 counties. But that was fun. We had a fun time.
Oh yeah.
He was shaming everyone.
He was. He really was. Like, I really wish we could just have a game. We should just have a game one day where we're doing the broadcast, but it has to be in person, where Leroy's just like, here we go. We sit us right next to the bullpen. Now up in the bullpen, Chunky 52.
I think I'd be more like Bob Euchre.
Heater in action tonight. They're taking on the Bucks, 7:30.
No Giannis.
No Giannis. He's got that wrist that's sprained, so no bueno there. Have you seen the new tiers, Leroy? Do you remember the tiers last year that ESPN came up with? It was the playoff tiers. Remember the Heat were dangerous, even though they were the 1 seed all year. They did not crown them true contenders in ESPN's mind. They only put them as dangerous loomers. Remember that?
Yeah.
Well, they have come out with their tiers this season.
Oh boy, here we go.
The top shelf. So this is not true. They don't call them true contenders. They just call it the top shelf.
This is that
this is
that
Johnny Blue.
Walker Blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Not surprisingly.
Not that bum liquor I bought.
The Celtics.
Tastes like cigarettes.
That really was not good.
Oh, dude.
Usually trust you on all things food
I
and drink.
usually
The
trust
worst
the
part is
Klein.
expensive, man. If it was cheap, it would make sense. But it being expensive, you gotta go over there and just hit him with that bottle.
I could have brought him some of that old smoky salted caramel whiskey.
Wow.
$19.
We could have got some proper
Sounds pretty
12.
good.
Oh, that tastes like gasoline.
I heard that. Sounds...
Dude, the gasoline was better than what I got.
Oh, gosh.
All right, so top shelf, Celtics,
Yep.
Bucks,
Yep.
Nuggets.
Yeah.
We'll see. Do something.
How about Mavericks?
I'll get to them. And then Suns. Those are their 4 teams.
Any team that has KD is going to be a contender.
Only thing you got to worry about is his knee, right? Like that
Yeah.
seems like they should definitely be. You got KD, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, KD. Like that feels like it's.
We've said 700 things today. You said salted caramel, and J Fig chimes in.
It's really good. I first, you know what's funny, J Fig? I went to the moonshine tasting in Tennessee at the Old Smoky distillery, and I was just perusing, and I was like, oh man, I should have just gotten that whiskey and taken it home. But they actually sell Old Smoky at ABC. So I went to ABC. There it was. And they don't sell the moonshine because we're, leave it to this state, right? We got a lot of restrictions on a lot of stuff, but don't you have alcohol proof that's too high?
It's flammable, dude.
Who cares? I mean, look, think about it. We got pythons crawling around here.
Yep.
You know, we're just bending laws willy-nilly. Can't have a little moonshine? You imagine the moonshiners that would be going on in the Everglades right now?
Ooh, I would like a batch of that.
Hey!
Everglades moonshine.
You got that python moonshine?
Got something for pythons, dude.
They're scary. Second tier. The Sixers, the Cavs,
okay.
the Grizz,
Okay.
the Clippers,
Okay.
the defending champion Warriors,
Yep.
and then the Mavericks.
Okay.
All right. Then the third tier, which they don't call the third tier. They insultingly call them the long shots.
So they're gonna have the Lakers there.
Nope.
Really?
The long shots, 2 teams. And by the way, -1 to Schmeath and Dangerous Lumors wasn't the bubble year. You're lashing out.
-1 for lashing out.
Maybe I'm lashing out. Maybe it was now he's got me shook.
For
Anyway,
lashing out.
He just repeated. Somebody get this lashing out.
the
Somebody.
long shots. The Kings.
The Kings.
They had 3 in the East. Or 3 in the West, excuse me.
That's a little disrespectful. I'm not gonna lie. If I was a Kings fan, number 3 in the West.
They've been number 3 in the West for a long time.
Hold on.
Yeah.
First of all, you shouldn't be upset. Your ass has been the bottom of the NBA for 20 years.
It's very true.
So now all of a sudden we want to make you contenders? No.
That's fair.
They have a lot of talent.
But the
And they might be able to do something, when if they match up well against a couple of teams.
Mhm.
However, don't expect us for you to contend when you haven't even been in the playoffs in forever.
It's true.
So that's why they're where they are.
Dangerous Lumors was last year, by the way, Schmeath, and so -1 for Sass.
So
-1
I would just say,
for Sass.
we're going to mention you while taking your history into account, which brings me to my point here.
Well, here is the long shot. Our classmate, the Miami Heat,
Right.
in the long shots category
And
with the Sacramento Kings.
And I would say this is that the only reason why the Heat are there, because there's been a lot of questions all year about the shooting, about the health, about now if some of these things get fixed and some of these things start turning around, i.e. the shooting or, just not getting pushed around with all the size that's in the East, then we can have a different conversation. But as of right now, I can see why they came up with that. And keep in mind, the Heat are always going to be one of these tiers because of the way they've done their organization has been run, which is the same reason why the Kings are long shots. Just because you won a bunch of games in 1 year, we can't all of a sudden make you contenders because you ain't never even been in the hunt.
I guess, but I would say if I was a Kings fan and not, if I was Sacramento Tobes, if I was Joe Rose, defending my Kings. Does he like the Kings?
I don't know.
He did. We were talking about the Diaz brothers before.
Hold on. Time out.
There's information on Cal.
Time out. Here's the crazy thing about that. When you from over there, you could very well be Warriors fans, which is what a lot of people do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not the Kings. Why would you root for the Kings? That's like, how hard it is to find a hardcore Clippers fan in LA? Please. Billy Crystal. That's it.
I just think the thing that's interesting is first of all right, you have a lot of questions about the Heat. Fine. But you guys are really believing in these other teams that are above them, more so after based on what credibility? Based on what?
Like what?
Joel Embiid's never been to a conference finals.
Pick a team.
Sixers. Never been to a conference finals. Biggest choke artist point guard of all time.
Okay, but as far as talent,
he beat him last year. Tobias Harris over me.
All right.
What is that? What are they doing?
They got an MVP candidate.
So what? Former MVP candidate. What do they do in the playoffs besides fall all over the place?
But isn't this a this year award? This year,
I don't care.
Okay.
I mean,
so you think the Sixers are fool's gold?
Well, here's the thing. I think it's silly to have the Warriors in second tier. They're the defending champions. They're not healthy, but come on. When they get healthy, you don't believe them? Believe that they can get things done in the playoffs? That's stupid.
No.
Why?
No chance.
Why?
Because they're not very good.
Come on.
They're okay.
Why would you not trust when those guys are healthy that they can beat anybody?
I didn't say they couldn't beat anybody. But what I'm saying is, based on the information you have right now, you think the Warriors can win a championship? based on information you have right now.
If my information is I have that they're all healthy,
No.
then yes.
That's not the information you have. Oh my goodness. You are. I tried to purposely ask you based on the information you have right now, and you just bypassed that and gave your own scenario, which is not what I asked.
You get more
And I don't know
disrespectful than
why.
dangerous loomers.
I don't know why I'm even justifying a list that doesn't matter because they got to play anyway.
I know, but I love lists.
I know, and I get
especially
caught,
disrespectful
and see,
lists.
here's the problem. See, and Marcos, I see that just that bleep look on your face.
I was waiting for the
Like-
old love list.
and I just think, like, come on, this list is nothing.
Annoying is what it is.
Okay, who were the favorites last year
On this list?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
I just remember that I know that the Heat weren't. I know the Heat as the 1 seed all year weren't as one of the contenders. They were dangerous loomers,
And how did they end up?
and they ended up 1 shot away from the conference final, from the finals.
So I guess based on where they ended up, that list was accurate.
No, that's not true.
What do you mean?
Because dangerous loomers is like a puncher's chance in the second round. You can't be a shot away from the NBA finals and be called a dangerous loomer. Like if the Kings got 1 shot away. Hold on, let me ask you this. If the Kings got 1 shot away from the NBA finals, is calling them a long shot right or wrong?
That would be wrong.
Right. So,
But a dangerous loomer means that you're going to be in the hunt and you have a chance, but we don't think that you can do it.
I think this year they're dangerous loomers. That's what I think.
You
We're
have
loomers.
here. As much as I love the Miami Heat, you have no idea what this team's going to be in the playoffs
Oh, I know.
because they're not there yet.
Nah, I know.
They don't know what they're going to be yet,
Oh,
but
we
you know.
We
What
know.
are they going to? Please tell us what they're going to be.
Eating 5, baby. Monocles and top hats. Jimmy Buckets. Jim VP. Kevin Love.
Oh my goodness, this guy. But I
Problem?
just like sometimes I do this show and you make me tired.
It's K-Love time. Love. Let's go.
It's my guy. Back after this. It's our Tua, 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 Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Chris Sims can go to hell. Tua Tagovailoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Check the history of food.
To the program now.
Wow. It's impressive.
Thanks, man. Thirsty after that.
Yeah.
Welcome on back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Taking you up until 2 o'clock here on the program. We're going to talk to Raúl Ibañez in about 15 minutes. He's the rules man. There's new rules in baseball this year, Leroy. Did you know that?
No, I know there's a shot clock, right?
There's a new pitch clock. 15 seconds with no runners on between pitches. 20 seconds with runners on. Violations are automatic ball and strike. No more shift. They got rid of that stupid shift. Happy about that.
Like, can I ask you a question? This is the truth. You think the shift mattered that much?
Oh, I hated the shift.
I know you hated it.
Hated it.
But I've seen a lot of situations where the shift has gotten teams in trouble. Because periodically somebody will just bunt one down the third baseline. You only do the shift with lefties, so
mostly people were just doing porn hacks, and I think I needed them to. What's the thing?
What were they doing?
Big porn hacks, dude.
I don't even want to Google that, if I had to be honest.
I'm just telling you, I hated the shift. Listen, we have illegal formations in football. Listen, Dolphins are kings of that. Woo. Legal formations up the wazoo this year.
Oh my god!
You better get that fixed, Mike McDaniel.
I mean, it kind of happens when you're in a system for a while. You get comfortable with the offense. It works better when everybody knows where everybody should be. So that if somebody goes the wrong way, the quarterback or the coach doesn't have to tell them, a player, hey, you're supposed to be on the other side.
That playoff game was so frustrating because of all the changes. I no. I'm not. Listen, I know it was a tough go because of all the different. But man, it was sucked. Should have beat the Bills, dude. Should have beat them. These guys are frauds. Can we be real about it? So you want to talk about the Sixers of the NFL?
Let me ask. Yeah,
propped up year after year.
Let me ask
frauds.
Let me ask you this, because I was watching ESPN First Take.
Yeah.
And Mad Dog said that he would take Josh Allen over Lamar Jackson. And
really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I'm thinking to myself, regardless of what I think about Lamar Jackson has proven more than Josh Allen has.
I agree.
And you can, I think when you go into a game, you still hoping that Josh Allen will win a game for you. When Lamar Jackson is in the game, everybody thinks that because Lamar Jackson's on the Ravens and healthy, that they're going to win. And Josh Allen ain't there yet.
Josh Allen is super scary because he's a moose and he's very hard to tackle, but he's also a bit of a time bomb.
where he starts throwing it to the other team, or
he is willy-nilly. That's what he is. He's fun. If I was a Bills fan, I would love him. But you know, it's just they put him in this. They have christened this guy like he is the second coming of something. And I'm just waiting. Should have. I mean, he almost lost to Skylar Thompson in a playoff game.
Yeah, but you know what? This is easier to do in a lot of sports. It's hard to do that one guy thing in football.
I just did.
I know. We always do it. It's really like, it's unfortunate that we do that, because think about this. We gonna say Jalen Hurts couldn't win the big one? He was the best quarterback on that day.
I know, he really was.
And so we're gonna say that Jalen Hurts can't win a big one when he actually played better than the quarterback that won, and we look at it totally different. We go, that Patrick Mahomes finds a way to get it done. He didn't even throw. Did he throw for 200 yards?
He did not.
Right.
But he did show the guts.
And there you go. You make my point for me.
What? He did. We're going to disagree that Patrick Mahomes showed the guts?
No, we're not. But that's not why they won. He played a role. He wasn't the guy. He was like Jalen Hurts was the guy.
Yes,
he was the best football player on the field during the Super Bowl.
He did also give up 7 points. Just
Yes.
gave it to him.
Yes. Can't give
He was
away
awesome.
the
I mean, like, look, any questions they're gonna have of him are dumb. He shut everybody up.
So everybody's saying Jalen Hurts should get his comeuppance.
That's another one, by the way, from that team. Speaking of the shift, they're gonna change that rule with the whole goal line play.
What do you mean?
They're gonna get rid of it. They said, "Oh, this is not good for the aesthetics of football." They're like, they don't want that play anymore.
What goal line play?
The play where they all shoved the entire defensive line back and that you were impressed with.
Hey,
they want to get rid of that.
They can't.
Okay.
You know why?
Done.
Because one of the reasons why Philadelphia is so good at it is every time you watch that play, watch how low their offensive line gets. And there's nothing you can do about that. At the point of attack, they're all much lower than the defense, and that's how they get the push. The push from behind is just a bonus. But there was a couple of times on the goal line or first down where the Philadelphia offensive line pushed the whole defensive line wherever they needed to get.
Chris Jones was like so mad.
Right. So you're not going to be able to change that. I don't know how you suppose they change that. You can't push them. That's about all you can do.
I saw Jalen Phillips put Justin Herbert down for a nap. They still called a penalty. I don't know how football does it the way it does it. It does.
Right. He put him down.
Give him a little sucker.
Yeah.
Shh, go to bed. Shh, Justin.
Go to sleep. Lay down. Lay down.
Jalen Phillips, the only thing he didn't do was take out Mother Goose and read him a lullaby.
Pretty much.
And they're like, no, did you say, JP, did you read a lullaby? No, roughing.
Here's the crazy thing about it. We all remember when Tua got slung to the ground.
Oh, yeah.
How is that wasn't called and Jalen Phillips laid the quarterback on the ground?
Just wait till
think about this. When the other quarterback is a moose, it takes force to get him on the ground.
Yeah.
And I don't know why these people who decide what's a penalty and not can't understand that Josh Allen is bigger than some of the people trying to tackle him.
To a lunatic Judo, dude. They're not gonna know what hit him. I can't wait. League's in trouble.
You know what?
Trouble, dude.
This definitely has the makings of the old toe tap.
What?
You
think this is going to be like Kyle Lowry at the UFC Performance Center? I don't think so. Anyway, let's get to some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Miami Heat back on the court tonight against the Bucks. 7:30 tip-off. Coverage on the ticket begins. Coverage on WQAM, begins at 6:15 with preheat. Got my old Ron Burgundy on there. The Panthers take on the Buffalo Sabres at 7 p.m. Anthony Duclair making his return to the ice. So happy the Duke is back. And give us a leader update, Leroy, from the Honda Classic, brought to you by the Edwin Watts Golf Shop. Some of the 90-day 100% satisfaction guarantee.
Right now, second wave going. Ooh, Justin Sue, 8 under, 4 under on the day. Chris Kirk is 6 under on the day. He's at 7 under, along with Carson Young. And then you got Matt Wallace at 6, and you got a few guys at 5 under, including the 2 leaders from yesterday, and Joseph Bramlett and Billy Horschel. They get going around 12. And that's really about it. So it's going to get a little jumbled because there's certain guys, looks like the golf course is gettable today. It looks like guys are teeing off and scoring. And then you got guys that were leading that haven't teed off yet, including Jason. He tees off at 11:56. But other than that, that's about it. And let me see. Let's see. Adam Shank tees off at 12:51.
Can't believe that's a real golfer. It's amazing.
Adam Shank. That is.
That's a break.
No, dude, that's his name. I looked it up yesterday. I thought he was pulling my
You
leg.
thought I was kidding? What?
Thought he was
Why
kidding.
would I kid you about that?
That's
don't know.
Live infiltrating. I
I don't know.
promise. They're gonna start having prank golfers.
No, because before Liv, I knew who he was.
Sure you did. You're a
I
part of
did.
it.
Before the end of the hour, we'll give away another pair of tickets to Heat and Hawks. Got a pair of tickets to give away every single hour of
To
this show.
Make sure you bring some dirt so you can bury your garden gnome.
We'll take a quick break. Raúl Ibañez is going to join us next.
Friday.
Besándome otra vez, suavemente, bésame, que quiero sentir tus labios, besándome otra vez, suave, bésame, bésame.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM. Before the end of this hour, I'll give away another pair of tickets to Heat and Hawks. That's coming up next weekend. The Heat back on the hardwood tonight, 7:30 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Excited to see the debut of Kevin Love with the Heat tonight. Panthers back in action.
You
at
think he
7.
starts?
They have Anthony Duclair making his season debut tonight, so that's all fun. We had a fun time this week out in Jupiter. Leroy and I went and spent the entire day on Tuesday at Marlins camp. We sat down with what did we sit down with? 6 guys, Marco? 6, 7 guys?
Tell me about it. Posting those interviews.
Sorry,
that was about 6 people. It was good. That was a fun time.
about the podcast, but we had a great time. We talked to Jazz. We talked to Trevor Rogers, John Birdie, Kim Ang, a whole heap of Marlins. Talked a bunch of the new bullpen guys, and we had a lot of fun. But we're going to talk to a man right now who many years in Major League Baseball, but now he's the rules man in Major League Baseball. Baseball is making some changes out there in the land to make it better for fans. So let's go out to the Toyota of Hollywood guest line. Shop over 1,500 Toyotas indoors in one of America's largest showrooms at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood and Sheridan. And Raúl Ibañez is going to join us here. And Raúl is the Senior Vice President of On-Field Operations for Major League Baseball. Raúl, thanks for the time this morning. How are you?
How are you?
Very good, very good. Thanks for giving us some time. Appreciate it. So we were talking a little bit last segment about some of the changes in baseball. Less time between pitches, no shift anymore. What made you guys get finally to getting to some of these changes for the game this season?
Yeah, well, thanks for the question. Thanks for having me on. And so, how we arrived at these decisions and conclusions is really based off of input, fan research. Also, we include the players in the dialogue, front offices, as well, and the men that are in the dugout also. So it's really a collective and collaborative approach to finding what the best version of baseball is. But these changes specifically were really based off of what our fans were telling us they wanted to see in our great game.
Raúl, you think it's? I'm always curious. Do you think these rules tend to stick when you include all of Major League Baseball, and I'm including the players, management, the managers? When you include all these guys to come up with these rules, you think they're more accepted because everybody's included in these decisions?
Yeah, it's very important for us at Major League Baseball to first and foremost the integrity of the game, our fans, and of course including the players who play the game. And the guys who are in the dugout and the people that are in front offices across baseball. Baseball it's our job for all of us that are employed in the great game of baseball to continue the growth of the game and continue moving us forward in the positive direction and as caretakers of the game. So, it's very important that we include everybody in the process. There's a joint competition committee where there's an umpire, ownership group, people from Major League Baseball offices, and also a player panel that they discuss these potential changes. And it's very important for us to include them in the process as well.
When you're going around camps and you are explaining this, what was the thing that got the most resistance? Because I can't imagine some pitchers, I'm sure you've had plenty in your career that you face, Raúl, they take forever. I know there's some batters guilty of it too, but their whole routine and all that. How much resistance did you get for the whole pitch timer thing?
I think because, it's not as much as you would think, and mainly because it's already been tested in over 8,000 games of minor league baseball. So we spent a substantial amount of time researching what the effects of the pitch timer were. But absolutely, this ongoing debate, the pitcher versus hitter debate, it's going to be the hitters saying it's the pitchers and the pitchers saying it's the hitters. I don't think we're ever going to get to the bottom of that one. That debate's going to go on forever.
Well, when you guys test these things, and we see all these types of things like robot umpires and trying to, maybe automate the game, how realistic do you think that is that ever happens, Raúl? Because we're getting to a point where we have replay. They seem like they're getting that down even more. Strike zones. I know that there's umpires that everybody kind of grumbles about. Like, how likely do you think it is that one day we get to a point where balls and strikes are being decided by a computer?
Yeah, well, I mean, what I can tell you is that it's, we tested it and continue to test it this year. The ABS system will be in AAA baseball as well. And also some games are going to have the ABS challenge system. Now, the challenge system is an interesting one. If you didn't get a chance to see it, I recommend that you see it. It's each team gets 3 challenges. The umpire is calling the game, but in his ear, there's an earpiece, and each pitch is being tracked by the ABS system. So the pitcher, the hitter, or the catcher has the ability to challenge the call by tapping the top of their hat, and it happens within 4 seconds, whether it's the call is enforced on the field or it's overturned, the pitch. So that's an interesting one that's being used, but everything that we do is based off of research and data. And so to answer your question, it's being researched right now.
Well, one of the things that I hope that people understand is when you play and you pitch, you have an idea of what an umpire is going to call, whether he's a low guy in the strike zone, whether he calls him a little bit higher in the strike zone, and you kind of get a feel for that during the course of a game. So isn't that part of the game that pitchers have to figure out, whether he's going to give them the black of the plate or you got to get more of the plate? These are parts of the game that pitchers kind of got to get a feel of during the course of it, right?
That's something that has been going on for years, even when I played and before. The guys that came before me were passing down that knowledge, through generations and over time. And really what I could say to you is, yes, that's part of the game. And nothing is imminent right now as it pertains to ABS. But again, as the caretakers of the game, we all have a responsibility to find what the best version of baseball is and continue the growth of the sport, not just nationally, our national pastime, but also international.
Talk to Raúl Ibañez about some of the baseball changes to baseball rules that are coming. I am thankful that the shift is gone. I hated the shift, Raúl. I imagine as a lefty, you hated the shift as well. Even though you were a pro's pro, you could hit it anywhere. This thing did feel like it was ruining the game. I hated the shift. Why the determination to get rid of it?
Well, one of the things that our fans are telling us and have been telling us is they want action in the game, balls in play, and also great defensive plays. So, we've heard from infielders, major league infielders from stars that, part of the beauty of the game is the guy's slightly out of position and he's able to display his athleticism a la Ozzie Smith and, guys that have come before, Derek Jeters and all of those guys that came before. And in the game today, we have some of the most spectacular, dynamic infielders physically and athletically that we've ever had. So that's really just trying to get not just inject more offense into the game, encourage balls put in play, but also to display the athleticism that our fans have been telling us they love to watch from our infielders and the defensive players. And what I can't say about the shift is it's I've heard the argument of just hit the ball the other way. It's a very difficult thing to do with guys throwing 100 miles per hour and he's throwing cut fastballs in on your hand at 95. To just try to slap a ball the other way. And if we go back in time throughout the history of our great game and some of the best hitters that we've, thought about as guys who could spray the ball and place it anywhere they wanted, we'll go back in history and you can rechart those games and they weren't getting a lot of hits that were a left-handed hitter slapping it at the third baseman, right? They were getting balls that went through up the middle of the field and even in the hole between first and second. That was pre-shift. So, my counter to that conversation is the shift doesn't mean you're a pull hitter. It just means that when you hit the ball on the ground, you're more likely to pull the baseball. But let's also remember that the shift was getting rid of hits that were going right over the second base bag. I mean, in 2014, I got to play with the great Albert Pujols, and I watched him hit a dozen ground balls and line drives right over the second base bag, only to have a man standing there catching it.
I'm with you. Like, listen, it's one of these things where it's like, yeah, every once in a while there'll be an exception. I remember Miguel Cabrera getting an RBI off of somebody trying to intentionally walk him, but there's like one Miguel Cabrera over the span of time you see somebody do something like that. Like, we don't really need to do the intentional walk all 4 pitches. Like, whatever you could do to get you more action, I think you guys are all for. And the other thing is, like, look, basketball has its rules where you're not allowed to do whatever you want to block a shot. Football changes with illegal formations all the time. I don't think it's that, it's that crazy. Okay, there was a mathematical thing that was found, but it doesn't make the game as fun. Like, let's get rid of it. It doesn't have to be this thing where you're ruining the integrity because, they won't just go the other way. I think it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. And the way that we viewed it from, central baseball perspective is the worst thing that could happen is guys are playing where they traditionally played growing up. And the fans will look at the game, at the traditional game that they grew up understanding and watching. So it's not a matter of changing the game, really. It's just a matter of kind of tweaking it back in the direction where it traditionally has been.
What is the worst idea that's been brought to the table? As the rules man, what's the one that you shot down immediately?
Well, that's a really great question. So it's a collective effort. There's a lot of us in the office, and I would say that over the last 2 years that I've been here, these are the ones that I've been really focusing on and been a part of that team. But there's a very good chance that some of the worst ideas, I brought them up. So,
well, could you give us an example? Like, let's get weird, Raúl. What have you tried to get off the table?
Well, I do. One of the weirder ones that I did not bring up, but there seems to, people have talked about is the intentional, or I'm sorry, strike 3 and stealing first base. That was one of the weirder ones that, for me, from my perspective, that I've seen and heard. But there are people that think it's fun and exciting. So that one was kind of strange for me because as a hitter, you grow up, you have to put the ball in play in order to run to first base, or the catcher has to block it or miss the ball. So, but that one is one that has been discussed, and I find that one to be a little bit strange. But not in a judgmental way at all. We're just trying to get to the best version of baseball.
I always loved that in Little League when you had a terrible catcher and they would mess up the strikeout and you could just run to first base. I was always a fan of that.
Well, you loved that in Little League, but I was a minor league catcher and I was the terrible catcher missing the ball.
It's only fair that you try to get rid of that rule. Hey, 3 strikes, you're out, buddy. You don't get a freebie because I can't catch.
It would have been like if you did imagine, like if Jazz Chisholm did strike out Leroy, but he was still allowed to try. I kind of like it. I got to be honest with you. I don't think that's too bad. Maybe put that back on the maybe shelf, Raúl.
Well, to be clear, that one's not on the totally on the shelf, and it's not coming out. It's not one that we're trying right now either. So,
well, let's see if we can top it. My producer Marcos is not the biggest baseball fan in the world, but he has a couple proposals he'd like to go your way to see if maybe you would like them. Marcos, the floor is yours. What would you like to get past the see if maybe you could get to a meeting of Raúl Ibañez? Maybe he could present this.
I appreciate that, Raúl. I know you and the people over there at field operations do a great job. So this is no disrespect. It's just things that I'm observing. All right. Get rid of the tag, introduce the flag. What do you think of that one?
Get rid of the tag, introduce the flag.
All right, you don't need a ball for sure. You don't need a ball to tag someone out. If everyone's wearing the flag, if you pull the flag, he's out.
Oh my goodness. What are you doing?
You're wasting this man's time.
Fine. We'll shelf that one.
You shelf it.
That's interesting.
All right, cool. What is the one thing that changed basketball? Everyone knows recently, in your opinion.
3-point shot.
The 3-point shot, correct.
3-point shot.
Develop a 3-point shot. Put a hoop in the outfield. If you make it in there, 3 points. But the home team decides where the hoop goes because it's not like a strength thing. It's a skill thing.
I want to apologize in advance for wasting your time. I'm more than
sure. Don't worry about it. I got one.
What if there was in the stadium, almost like a la home run derby, like a bonus place where you could hit it into the stadium? Yeah, I think that would be kind of cool.
All right, we're still.
What are you guys doing?
Okay, last one.
Baseball is probably the most traditional sport we have in our country, and you guys are making it Mickey Mouse
out there, man.
No.
All right.
You got anything else for Raul before he hangs up on us?
This is the last one, Raul.
I'm
Go
I want
ahead.
you guys to know that I am listening. I'm actively listening and intently listening. I'm just at a loss for words.
All right. Speechless. He's impressed. Okay.
Yes,
I like
exactly.
This, the
That's
last
what you got
one-
out of that.
Yeah, for sure. This one could be great. And I don't want anything crazy, let's not get crazy with it. But I think every player, like a power-up, you play video games, they have different power-ups. One banned substance a game. You're allowed to use it one time in the game, maybe a little grease on the ball. When do I use this? Just like, when do I use this? Do I use
They
it?
did used to have the spitball, Raul. Like maybe one
spitball.
time, one guy gets a banned substance. They're always stripping these guys down, but if he gets to take it out at any point for one pitch.
Raul, I apologize. Do you realize we are now patting down pitchers when they leave the mound and you want to go back?
Just once.
Just once.
Yeah. Thank you guys for your thoughtful suggestions. We'll probably leave those in the suggestion box,
All
but
right,
thank you for sharing.
Can't win them all.
We appreciate your time, Raul. Thanks for having some fun
Thanks,
with us.
Raul.
We do genuinely like all these rule changes this year. We're excited for the season. We definitely got amped up for it being at Jupiter this week with the Marlins. So thanks for giving us some time this morning, and we're excited for the year.
Thank you, guys. That was a lot of fun, and thanks again. We're really excited for the rule changes too, and for this upcoming playing season. It's a really exciting time. So thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.
Have a good one.
Raúl Ibañez, absolute bad. Raúl Ibañez was like
He was, yeah.
he was a stud for a long time.
But here's
Stud
the
for a long
deal.
time.
Yeah,
He says he was a bad catcher. I don't remember that.
Well, he only played. I don't believe
He only
Raúl
played catcher in
He
minor
played
leagues,
in the
right?
minors. I think
Okay.
I don't believe Raúl played catcher when he was in the bigs.
Right.
But he was really, really good. We'll take a quick break. We couldn't tickle
Oh
Raúl Ibañez's fancy.
Oh
we
my
will-
goodness! Please,
Are you embarrassed by us?
Wait, I knew something was up because Marco said everything but this line. Okay, Raul, hear me out. Because usually hear me out is followed by some of the dumbest things we've said on this show. You did not disappoint, Marcos.
3-point shot. Just consider it.
Secret substance? They're doing it anyway.
Dude, they get patted down and checked after
They're not
every
catching
inning
them all.
now.
They're not catching them all. We might as well just put it out in the open. Let's be real about it. Let's Tickle Leroy's Fancy coming up next.
Say, you already know I'm in the fast lane. From LA to Tokyo, I'm so fancy.
It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to find out what this weekend will Tickle Leroy's Fancy. But before that, I want to let you guys know that country music and sports fans, we got something for you, all right? You guys can win a trip for two to see country music great Luke Bryan. Spot on, dude.
Why He's gonna be you and Marcos have the same shirt on?
We don't. I mean, I got flowers. He has flamingos. Try and get it right, dude. Way different. Anyway, if you guys want to see Luke Bryan at Resorts World Las Vegas, we'll give you some cash to help pay for the airfare. Pick up your hotel and give you 2 tickets to see Luke Bryan. Here's how you guys can win. You go to the Odyssey app, you log in, and you listen to WQAM. Or you guys go to WQAM.com, go to the website, and you listen. You get 1 entry for every hour that you listen. The more you listen, the more chances you get to win. Simple as that. You guys having trouble with the signal today? Why don't you listen to us on the app or the website, and you can win some Luke Bryan tickets while you're at it. You get those tickets at AXS.com. Check that on out. And if maybe you don't like Luke Bryan, maybe you like Jason Aldean. We're also on the website giving away tickets to maybe you like both. Maybe samesies. Who knows?
It's possible. I mean, when you sing them, they sound like the same person. So maybe
they sound way different, dude. Nah. Way under down, my big green tractor. Down. Maybe go faster. Way different. Right. Jason Aldean, we're also giving away a pair of tickets to see him this October at the I Think Financial Amphitheater in West Palm. Enter now at WQAM.com. Those tickets courtesy of Live Nation. Check out livenation.com for more great shows. Meanwhile, Leroy,
yes,
tonight,
sir.
7 o'clock, Panthers, Sabres, Duclair. I do Duclair. What? Does that tickle your fancy?
Yes, it does. I'm glad to see Duclair back. I want to see how much of a difference this team's going to look like when he is back.
What about 7:30? Miami Heat returning, Leroy, the supposed debut of Kevin Love and Cody Zeller. Don't sleep on Big Z. All right, new Big Z.
My fancy is tickled, but not by Cody
My
Zeller.
fancy is tickled.
Do you know who his best friend on the team is?
Who?
Victor Oladipo, college teammates. Vic was talking up old Cody Zeller yesterday.
Wow. I didn't even
know. He played with like 2 or 3 of the Zellers, didn't he? Didn't they have like
I don't know how many
Zellers. A whole bunch of Zellers.
He's doing the Hansboroughs. I can't. Intangibles.
Bogdanovich. How many of those are there?
2
Zeller brothers.
Point being, you fancy is tickled, yeah?
Yeah, I want to see what it looks like. Me and you are probably most excited to see who starts.
Yep. Definitely excited about that.
Like, so like my fancy could or couldn't be, might not be tickled after the first
fancy is tickled
10 seconds of the game.
All right, Leroy. What about Saturday at 4 o'clock? ESPN2 will have the number 13 Miami Hurricanes hosting Florida State, who stink this year, but still a rivalry.
I like watching Miami play. They play. You know what's funny is that their team is built very similar to the Heat's.
My fancy is tickled.
You know, they're not very big. They play oh my goodness. It's relentless how they play defense and how they run. And it's fun to watch. If you ever, I know you're not used to seeing, Miami be in the top 15, but they've been really good for the last few years. You need to take a look and see, my fancy's tickled. 4 o'clock is tough. 4 o'clock games are tough, but I will give I always enjoy watching.
You'll peruse?
No, I'll actually stop on it. It'll be going on the same time as golf. And in golf, you don't really ever miss anything if you miss time.
Right. What? What do you mean?
If you miss time watching it, they replay how did we get to this point 1,000 times during the broadcast. So you really don't miss golf.
All right, Leroy, 7 o'clock on Saturday. Last time they were here, they lost, so they need to get this one right. The Miami Heat, they go to Charlotte to take on the Hornets.
Man, what's up with Charlotte and Orlando? They can't, It's tougher than it should be. Yes, it'll be the second game. It's a back-to-back. Be interesting to see with the two new bodies, how they, interact, how they play with the rest of the team. So yeah, I'm interested. I want to see them, either go on a run or get it together. So at least they have an idea and we have an idea of what this team is going to look like in the near future.
Coming up, what?
I've been doing that a lot.
-1.
That's fair. That's fair. I was too busy trying to make sure the song played and
Yeah.
whatever.
Still -1 though.
Yeah, that's fair. It's a fair assessment.
That's on you.
-1.
Is it for sass? For lying?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely for lying.
Or show poniness.
Okay. All right. Maybe for both.
For lying.
And
For show poniness.
All right. Back to the regular schedule.
Saturday, Leroy.
Mhm.
The DC Defenders take on the Vegas Vipers, 7 o'clock in the XFL. Fancy Tickle?
I just watched Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
And Jalen Hurts.
Mhm.
Two unbelievable quarterbacks. And you want me to follow that up by watching who?
The DC Defenders, who I believe isn't their quarterback De'Ara King?
Quarterback.
I believe he is.
Is he?
Punter.
Is he the punter?
No,
that's Marquette King.
Okay.
No, I think De'Ara King plays for the DC Defenders.
Whoa.
He plays for, is he the starting quarterback?
I don't know. I only saw on
Find
Instagram that he had photos of him saying week 1 win, and he looked like he scored a touchdown.
Yep. De'Ara King, quarterback.
Starter?
I don't know. Why are you asking so many questions?
Because quarterback is one of the few positions, if you're a backup, you don't play.
He definitely had some action photos.
Eric Dungy and Jordan Tamu are the other options at quarterback. I don't think they're playing. They're not selling any tickets, I'll tell you what.
I'll look up the DC Defenders season stats after this. Meanwhile, on Sunday afternoon, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury from Dubai. Does
What
that
time is
fight
that?
tickle your fancy? 2 p.m. on Sunday.
Ooh, it does, but I might miss it because if Jason's in contention, I'm gonna be in Palm Beach.
My fancy is tickled.
Understood. And then finally, Leroy, the Arlington Aardvarks take on the Houston Roughnecks at 7 o'clock XFL.
Somebody's nickname is the Aardvark.
I actually forgot what Arlington.
Why don't we just call them the Anteaters?
I don't know what Arlington's name is in the XFL. It sounds.
You just... so Houston is the Roughnecks, right?
I know Houston's the Roughnecks. I feel like I got most of my XFL teams. I was like Arlington. I have no idea what Arlington is.
A roughneck is very similar to an oiler.
Yes.
So that's why they have that name. It's an oil thing.
Yes.
But aardvark.
Oh man! All right, we'll take a quick break. If you guys want to go,
Why can we take you serious? Why would you say something and you really have a hot take? How can we take you serious?
I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
It's the Renegades, by the way.
Oh, of course.
How
I
could
think
you not know
Aardvarks
that?
is a better. There you go.
The Renegades. That's keeping it in Texas, right?
1-0. Look at that.
Ah. Who's their quarterback?
Me, actually. I will be
Oh, you're busy this weekend?
Yeah, I will be busy this weekend.
We'll take a quick break. If you guys want to go to Heat and Hawks, caller 4 right now. Caller 4 to 305-567-0560. Caller 4 gets a pair of tickets to Heat and Hawks coming up on March 4th. Got a pair of tickets to give away every hour of the show. Jorge Masvidal is going to join us next hour. Gilbert Burns is going to join us in the final hour of today's show. We're back with more after this.
Auction makes a move. Top shelf, he scores. Carter Verhaeghe, the overtime winner. And the Panthers take it 4-3. That's 30 on the year for Carter Verhaeghe. And the Panthers get 2 big points on home ice.
All right, they have Doug Blagans on the call. Panthers back on the ice tonight against the Buffalo Sabres. I don't know why I said it like that. Exactly, dude.
Exactly.
Meanwhile, you got who won our tickets there, Marcos?
The first pair or the second pair?
Both.
Well, the second pair was David, right? And I believe it was David out of Miami. And the first pair was a guy's name who I can't remember.
Yeah. Well, guy's name that you can't remember. Congrats.
Congrats, dude.
Congrats, dude.
Well, you know what? In my defense, he asked me, when's this game again? And I was like, all right.
Well, we got 2 more pairs of tickets to give away for Heat and Hawks coming up next week. So if you guys still want to go, keep on listening. We'll give you a chance to win those. But first, get some headlines brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Supercenter. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Cocaine Bear comes out today. You guys excited?
I'm telling you, the previews look hilarious.
I think the reviews are pretty good.
Yeah, I heard actually good things about it, strangely enough.
I think Rotten Tomatoes, it was like in the 70s when I checked.
Yeah. Are we still doing a field trip? Have we canceled that? COVID? I don't know.
Yeah, we're not doing a field trip. Who are we kidding?
All right.
70% Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience is 80% so far.
So that means it's slightly above average.
It sounds like it sounds like to me. Sounds like a pretty good movie.
Yep.
Sounds like a pretty good movie. The Panthers have a cocaine bear on their team. Radko Gudas.
I don't know if you can say
He'll
that.
kill you.
Okay.
Radko Gudas is the cocaine bear of the Panthers.
The previews have the bear doing snow angels, so I don't think he's killing folks either.
Oh, Radko Gudas, he kicks your ass and then he does snow angels on your corpse on the ice. That's what he does.
Who's the football player that did it?
That was Kayvon Thibodeau. Yep.
As the quarterback was getting stretchered off, he's snow angeling
Was
right
that Nick
next to
Foles?
him.
Was that Nick Foles that he was snow angeling?
It was.
And then Jeff Saturday was very
No
mad.
class.
And he said, "Who's Jeff Saturday?" And then the beef will have to resume whenever. I don't know.
Well, Jeff Saturday's still coach. Eagles still relevant. So we'll see what happens, man.
What are you doing?
Oh, it's time for some cat talk brought to you by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out. When it's game time, make Celsius a party play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of the Florida Panthers.
The Florida Panthers. I went to Publix this morning. Every Publix doesn't have the lime.
Yeah, that's a gas station flavor, dude. You got to go to a gas.
I got it from a Publix. When I got it from a Publix.
You got to take it up. You're a VIP at Publix. You need to get that fixed.
I know.
What was the verdict? Is it good? Did he like it? Did you like it?
Yeah.
Awesome. He liked it. I did get a press release today that Jake Paul has now joined Celsius as an athlete ambassador.
Wow.
Jake Paul's
welcome to the team, Jake.
So yeah, welcome aboard, Jake.
I saw something there about him changing the purse with Tommy.
Apparently, they did an all or nothing. Like Tommy Fury he gets Jake Paul's purse, in addition to his purse, or he gets nothing.
Wow.
I don't know if I would have done that, dude.
I don't know if I would have done that either.
I don't know if I would have done that.
So
the last I checked, Tommy Fury was the underdog. I haven't checked in a little bit.
Whoa! So is he feeling that confident?
I think Jake is the one who initiated that, like kind of, because Jake's gonna be rich either way. Doesn't matter. Tommy, I think he needs this money for him to be honest.
Yeah, listen, dude. The Love Island residuals are not what they were. Jake Paul right now is minus 170 to beat
That's
Tommy
not
Fury.
bad.
Tommy Fury is plus 145.
That's not too bad. Minus 170. So they basically believe that Tommy Fury can't box.
Hey, I mean, he's boxed a bunch of bums. I think the record is like, I don't know the exact.
And Jake
number.
Paul hasn't?
Jake Paul
has boxed names, but he still boxed bums.
Yeah, but like it's like Tommy Fury is literally Leroy fighting newspaper cigarette guys. That's where he's at in his career.
We've seen
that. It can go awry. It can go awry.
As soon as you get hit one time in
One
the
time,
career.
One time, Leroy and I went to a boxing match at the Palm Beach Convention Center for Tyrone
Oh
Spong's
my
card,
goodness.
and we saw a welterweight fight a light heavyweight.
Okay.
Because it was literally just supposed to set up for the light heavyweight to get a win under his
One small problem.
No.
but
He lost.
What?
Yep.
What was it
So-
like a knockout or?
Nah, he just kicked his
No.
ass. I mean, the guy
Beast him
outweighed
up.
him by 70 pounds.
First of all, the guy was tall, and always beware when you go to these cards in these local places when the guy's outfit don't fit where he's fighting. And this guy had the sequins, the tassels. He was Joe Boxer, and this other dude came in looking like Mike Tyson with some Nikes. Looked like he was outweighed by 30 pounds and pieced him up.
It was something, man. I saw something that was weird too from Bob Arum. I sent it to you guys yesterday, but it was like such a strange tweet from him where he was like, I'm gonna do this in my Bob Arum voice. Jake Paul Tommy Fury fight is getting big buzz here in the United States. With the NFL season having ended, we expect the Sunday afternoon event on ESPN Plus pay-per-view to do very solid numbers. Which I just find a strange thing. Like, one, you're putting the whole football caveat there. And secondly, what kind of promoter says, we expect it to do all right? Usually a promoter just really oversells it. He's
But
like,
isn't
2 p.m. on a Sunday. All right.
Isn't that the case of knowing what you're...
I think my computer just restarted. Did my computer just crash?
Wow. Let me check.
You're frozen.
Yeah,
we can hear you, but you're frozen.
That's great. That's just great.
We're just gonna keep that thumbnail.
Great.
We should just keep that, right? Right? Looks like he's cooking.
Oh, you're talking your desktop did that?
Yes.
Oh no. Yeah, man, a lot of computer issues. By the way, if you're not able to hear us on the radio signal 560 WQAM.
Why would they be able to hear you say this?
That's a solid point. That is a solid point.
96.5 HD.
-1
Hey,
for deception.
By the way,
yeah,
that might be the smartest words that ever came out of that man's mouth.
Yeah, like
I can still hear you.
I didn't catch him, but I didn't realize I caught him on his A game today. Any other day that would have been fine.
Oh goodness.
Whatever, man. Watch this on YouTube.
All right.
So first it was J Fig.
J Fig's not here either.
No, because
J-Fig
her
got
computer crashed earlier.
All right, I'm good. You at least
I
gotta,
see.
you gotta,
Oh,
gotta
you changed. Now we got a Ant-Man view.
Yep, pretty much.
Switch angles on him. I like it.
So anyway, yeah, I just thought that was a weird thing from Bob Arum. He's just like, yeah, it'll do all right.
Yeah.
Like, but isn't that more of
is it weird
you
though? Like,
can't sell it. You can't sell it as if it were a major event, and you're selling it as like what it is. To even come out and say, "Ooh, this Jake Paul Tommy Fury fight is going to be 1 or 2 million pay-per-view," like, come on.
I think the thing that I think I want to see, honestly, I think I want to see Jake Paul win this fight because I really want to see Tommy Fury's dad freak out. Like he's you better not go to disrespect me name of the Fury Gypsy King, love.
Did you really just say that?
I think I want to see him win. Yeah, I think I want Jake Paul to win.
Wow.
You don't want Tommy Fury to win?
I really hope he wins. Tommy Fury, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I can rub it in your face on Monday.
Wow.
I mean, it's not gonna rub it in my face. Like I'm not saying like I'd be happy if Jake Paul gets knocked out. That's hilarious. But I also feel like this is kind of the fight where if Jake Paul wins and Tommy Fury's name is disgraced by his ugly father, I think that's hilarious too. I always knew you were too good looking to be a boxer.
Wait,
why are you shaming his father now?
Wait, we got into this. Me and you got into this. Jake Paul and his brother to see them lose.
Yeah.
This was the whole start of this. Now all of a sudden, after all this time we've invested in these fights, now you want to say, I hope he wins?
It's because I don't think he's gonna. Well, first of all, I don't think he's gonna lose.
Flip flopping.
Really? You don't think he's gonna lose?
No, I don't think he's gonna lose. I don't think he's gonna lose. I think that the fact that Tommy Fury has bowed out of this fight twice already. I don't think he's gonna lose. But
Even
also,
with winner take all stakes.
is it? That's what they say. You know,
So
who can
you
believe
think
this
you
stuff?
think like the
I don't
it's not.
know. I don't know. I also just think it would be funny that you wouldn't want to see Tyson Fury freak out. I think that'd be hilarious.
No, I want to see Jake Paul lose.
Okay,
This is why we got invested in this.
that's true.
I will say this. Our attitude and feelings towards Jake Paul have changed when you see the stuff that he does for the fight game, when you talk to him. So my feelings about Jake Paul have changed. I think he's a stand-up dude, but we still rooting for him to get his ass kicked. Let's not make that mistake.
That's what everybody's waiting for. Everybody
Yeah,
wants.
but why are you folding? Why all of a sudden we took this trip together?
Like, I would never want to see Anderson Silva lose, right? Like, I love Anderson Silva. All right. I would never want to see Anderson Silva lose. Tommy Fury, like, he's a reality TV star who guises as a boxer.
And Jake Paul isn't.
He's just like Tom. He's like Tom, the soccer player.
And Jake Paul isn't?
Did you forget where Jake Paul came from?
Right.
Please.
He's the epitome of what you're talking about. YouTube sensation.
I don't think they're that different.
So why
I think Tommy Fury's a fraud. Very handsome. Different mothers, by the way. I Googled it.
Yeah, that's why.
For sure.
What happened now?
Sheesh.
Tommy Fury and
the mother of his.
Tommy Fury and
Tyson Fury.
Tommy and Tyson are half brothers. The father is the same.
Mm-hmm.
John Fury.
My gosh.
Wow, so he's like
who looks like an ogre.
He does. He looks like a light-skinned
Then
Shrek.
their mom must be his mom, Tommy's mom must be beautiful to
for sure.
Like
maybe both moms are beautiful and just the ugly genes got one guy and didn't the other.
So basically you called the dad Shrek.
For sure.
Even Tyson Fury says he's ugly. That's the funny thing about him. He goes, "Look at me here. I'm fat, bald, and ugly. Greatest athlete on the planet. I'm the heavyweight champ. Baddest man there is."
Favorite boxer. Love that guy.
Dude, I mean, how much you think he weighs right now?
I don't know. He looks in decent shape. He's not doing that thing where he gets crazy out of shape.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of the fight game, Jorge Masvidal, he is going to be co-headlining UFC 287, taking on Gilbert Burns. Gilbert is going to join us a little bit later on in the show. Jorge Masvidal, he is next.
Friday, big
Very excited to talk to our next guest. You guys know I've been waiting for this for a very, very long time. The UFC is finally coming back
Buddy, very excited to talk to our next guest. You guys know I've been waiting for this for a very, very long time. The UFC is finally coming back to Miami. UFC 287, Miami-Dade Arena on April 8th. And this is the man who made it happen. Game Bread, joining us here, Jorge Masvidal. First of all, George, thank you for making this happen. You're the man. You've talked about this for a while, man. You made it happen. What does it mean, man, that you finally are going to be on a card in the 305?
It's amazing. It's amazing. It's very euphoric. I witnessed the UFC live for my first time when they came to my own city 20 years ago. I was 17, about to turn 18, and I was an amateur already in the sport. And I knew everything about UFC already at that point, as much as anybody can know. Like, whatever nerd though you could find like in baseball or football, I like ate them alive in my sleep when it came to like stats and knowing who was what and what they trained and this and that. From like 12 to like 18 is all that captivated me. So I was there in the event, and the nostalgia was real. And I was watching these guys that I've been watching for like 4 or 5 years. Like, oh my gosh, so-and-so's about to fight, you know. And it was a great card. Rich Franklin fought in it. Sean Shirk, man, it was like a freaking great card. And the turnout wasn't great, but at the time I wasn't thinking about that. I was so in tune into the fights. But then after I got over the nostalgia stuff, I remember I was still an amateur. And I remember saying it to myself, like, I could do this. I could do this for the rest of my life, and I'm going to bring this show back. They're going to come here another time, and it's going to be the red. Your boy right here, because nobody on the card, not one person on that card was from Dade County. Not one person on the card from Miami. Born and raised Dade County Chico. You feel me? So it was a no-brainer for the UFC. Like, we want to conquer Miami. Who do we got to talk to? So UFC was talking to me for a minute. It's not easy to negotiate with me, you know, because I like my money just like the UFC, but we got it done. We came to a firm agreement that I'm happy at. They're happy, and let's go forward and kick some ass. You know, the UFC's taking very, very good care of me for this fight, you know, and for you know, in many ways I always want to bring the show, but in many ways I was also accustomed to home being the road, and wherever that was at, I was so comfortable because it's the same thing. I'm gonna get on a plane, I'm gonna get to a hotel, and I'm gonna fight. I don't care where it's at, you know. Just give me proper time to prepare, get my, you know, night and days right, you know, because it's a time difference. So I need like 10 days where I'm gonna fight at, but I'm ready to go. The road is my home, and I still say that, you know. So now coming to Miami, it's like extra added pressure. Like, actually, I don't know if I want to come to Miami UFC, and they're like, oh, okay, we'll make it work, you know. So it's truly just nothing but a blessing. I've been getting myself in shape for a long time already. So when the news came already, I was in pretty decent shape. Now I would say I'm in great shape. Come April 8th, it's going to be nothing but violence, man. And, you know, I'm also 38. I've been doing this for like 20 years. So this fight means more than any other fight in my world, because there is a time where you got to say, like, man, I'm not as good as I was. I'm not as sharp as I was. I'm not this, that. This fight points me in like the right direction. Like, if I can't be Gilbert, man, maybe I got to stop considering why I'm doing this, because I only did this for 2 reasons since I signed up: to be the best in the world and to make the most money possible. Every time I got out there and fought, each and every fight, I've only gone up in money. Whether I've lost or not, I've only made more money. So it only makes sense that I'm only doing those 2 things, right? So if I, you know, I'm not saying I'm retiring after this fight, but if things don't go my way and exactly how I want, you know, I got to start thinking about other options. So that makes me think this could be my last fight, or one of my last fights. So I've been giving it my all, man. Especially being in my city, like, you're gonna have to kill me, you know, to get that victory. My fans know, people that know me know I'm gonna give it all I got. The wrestlers do give me problems, but thank goodness this guy ain't that type of wrestler. I'm gonna be able to just get in his face, stuff his takedowns, and break like the eye orbit or something, you know. And it's nothing personal against Gil, because I like to do it a lot personally, and as a fighter, love to do it. He comes to compete, you know. And that's all you could ask for. Somebody's like, you know, wanting to either submit you or like knock you out. So I like that about him. But come April 8th, I'm going to put his world upside down. His mama going to have a frown. You know me, I ain't no clown.
Talking to Jorge Masvidal. Tickets available now for UFC 287, April 8th at Miami-Dade Arena. George, do you think that the emotions that night are going to be any different? Like, you talk about it may be the last one. You know you're going to be fighting in front of your family, your friends. How do you think that's going to feel? That type of emotion when you walk out there?
You know, I got to learn to deal with that, right? Because like, it's just part of the job, man. It's crazy. You do feel it, you know. And for the most part, there's like a group of my people that always follow me to any fight that I go. So I'll see them like before the fight, But now it's gonna be different. Like I'm not even gonna look in the crowd before I walk out because I think that every single person might be somebody that I actually like grew up with or something like that. So it might be like too much emotion to handle, you know. So I'm just gonna be tunnel vision, and I'm fighting like if I'm home, but I'm not, you know, because at the same time, what got me here is like being cautious and cold blooded in situations where people get warm blooded or hot blooded, you know. And you got to remain calm and cool when that chokehold's on. You can't panic, breathe, you know. So it's the same thing whether I'm fighting here in Miami or in a backyard or I'm headlining MSG. It's a fight, and I can't let those things like, you know. I say this now, but at the time it was like it was a lot, and I was trying not to even talk about it, and I didn't want to bring it up because President Trump was attending my event live. He was gonna be there as I was competing for this belt that The Rock was gonna wrap around the winner's waist. Like, man, I love The Rock, man. The dude's from Miami, best actor, cool dude, you know. So it's like, damn, there's a lot of craziness going on, and to make it, and like one of the cherries on top was for me was Roberto Duran, my favorite fighter of all time, that I have been trying to get to walk out with me forever. And just things kept happening, you know, that we never got to make it, though. I've always wanted to walk out with him and just like share that energy with him. And he came out to that fight, and it's like, holy smokes, are you kidding me? But leading up to the fight, I was acting so nonchalant, like, bro, I didn't even, yeah, whatever, it's cool, you know. But after I took all that nostalgia in, and like, wow, I can't believe that this magnitude of an event was just pulled off, you know, and it was crazy. And then I get myself a little pat, and then on to the next one, you know, which is this one right here. And whether I'm headlining in my own backyard or not, I'm gonna bring the violence because I'm in shape, my mind is right, and everything's on the line.
When the last time we talked, it was after that magical 2019, and you said it was like a movie, and you said like you couldn't even go to a Publix without getting bothered every single place. How has it been, you know, being down a few games, a few losses here, Jorge? Have you noticed the rats, you know, jumping off the ship? Has the energy felt different, and everybody going away from you, writing you off?
No, you know, I travel a lot, so the energy feels great everywhere I go. But in Florida, it's like nuts. I still can't go nowhere, and it's like, you know, because I'm at the end of the day, they know I'm their boy. I'm a product of the city, and all that matters is when I go out there, I give it everything I got. I prepare myself as good as I can. I give it all I got. That's why I love my city, because whether I win or lose, they hold me up. You know, and for this last fight, you know, I was very down, you know, after these last couple fights, and my city has picked me up a lot, man. Just the overwhelming amount of messages that I got of just well wishes of people telling me, man, you did this for me. You know, look at me. Before I was 80 pounds. I lost 40 pounds because of you, because you motivated me. You being from Miami, you being from the city, you this, you that. And it's like, damn, these are inspiring me, you know. And I can't tell you how many messages I got like that. So I just want to thank my city in a big way for just like, you know, just giving you a hand up when you kind of need it, you know, because I wasn't in the best mental space after the fight, you know, and I got 3 felonies on me. I got like 3 different lawsuits on me, all this craziness going on. So I had to wait, make sure things got done right, you know, and get my mind right, and then come back to compete with everything that I got. Every part of my being on April 8th is going to be on one task and one task alone, which is ending Gil.
And tickets are available now. You guys can get them. Miami Dade Arena, April 8th. Can't wait to be in the building for this. They what? Already?
They might have.
Yeah, listen, I wouldn't be surprised, Jorge. As soon as they put you on the card, like I knew these things were going to go fast. Like you're definitely the guy to bring it back here. It's the appropriate. I want to ask you about this, man. So you had the Miami Dolphins at American Top Team this year. Were you did you get a chance to be part of that? And what was that like, if so?
So first shout out to the coach, Miami Dolphins, because I think they played their ass off. I like winning and losing is obviously we always want champions and winners. But to me, it felt like they played from here, and that's all we could ask for. And they went hard to get it. And you know what's funny is that the coach, they have brought me over there to give him a speech and just like things that have helped me get to the next level and stuff. And it was like the whole staff and all the football players. It was awesome. I got to meet all of them, but cool ass people all up and down the team. And after the speech, the coach told me, goes, man, I'm very, very confident in this team. We're gonna go far, my brother. Worst case scenario, we're making it to the playoffs. He told me this before they even had a game. This is in preseason when I went to get the boys all hyped up. And I spent the whole day with them. I went to the strength and conditioning program. Then after that, their next freaking agility and ability. And he told me, like, over and over, like, these guys are dogs. They work hard. This is not just, like, talent and not working. These guys understand the game as well. I'm telling you, we're going to go far. And hats off the coach because he did it. Good job, my brother. After that, I invited them, right? Because they invited me over to their practice. Said, you got to come to my practice now. What's up? I'll set it up. Dan Lamberg is the owner of American Top Team. Dan Lamberg is a huge fan of the Dolphins, of just football in general. Loves it to death. Doesn't ever miss a game. But the Dolphins, you can't say nothing bad around him. So when he heard that he had the opportunity that the Dolphins could be coming, it was like we haven't done a red carpet launch like that for anybody, I think, ever. It was like sparring day. Okay, everything's getting moved around. When you guys want to come, we're going to put the best matches on for you guys. You guys just sit down in these bleachers. Nobody's going to bother you guys. Enjoy. The whole team came in, the B team, the C team, the trainers, everybody, all the coaches and the assistant coaches. And, man, they had a blast. We gave them a good show. I was on the mat myself that day trying to give them, like, what it looks like when we're training and stuff. And there was several athletes that they competing, getting ready for world championships and stuff. So the energy in there was very, like, you know what I'm saying, get after it, and I think they enjoyed it for the most part. From what I saw, I think they loved it,
It looked really awesome. Now, I don't know if you heard, but the quarterback, Tua, he had concussion issues this year, and he apparently is going to do judo to try and learn to fall, to control his body. What do you think of this strategy? Do you think this is something that could help, like a martial art, being able to help him avoid falling weird?
Great question. Judo would definitely help because these guys, when you're at that level of judo, they're breaking like falls. They could like break your body, your arms. So in judo, you could generate a lot of impact with that gi and a lot of torque. These guys are spinning you on their hip and on their core, and then they're projecting that energy to the ground. So if you don't know how to like catch the land, a common break in judo at that level is like the sternum break. Just imagine how much that sucks. You're out for like 6 to 8 months minimum. If this shoulder right here breaks your sternum right there, and that sucks, man. I've seen it happen in numerous judo matches, or even the ribs popping out of place. So you have to learn how to gracefully fall. So I definitely think it's a great idea. Why not? And the type of connections that he has, I'm sure, in money, he could reach out to me. Whoever he's reaching out to, he'll have the proper guy, I'm sure, in front of him teaching judo and how to break falls. And then after he does that for some time, he can go into wrestling because we break it a little different in wrestling. And then, just stay in the martial arts world because he's in a contact sport for a living, so you should be involved in some type of combat,
Jorge, how the hell did you land the whale of Roy Jones Jr. being on your boxing card?
I was just about to ask you, man, what you were doing April 1st, but you answered my question, man. I know you'll be tuning in now, dog. Let's go.
Oh, Roy, listen, I'm a Roy Jones junkie. I was like, but when I saw, I was like, I can't. Roy Jones versus Showtime. You're talking about maybe the flashiest boxer versus one of the flashiest MMA fighters of all time. How the hell did you land him?
You think you smart, man. I'm gonna have to come do your interviews more often. You're one of the few people that caught that. Not a lot of people have caught that one. That I got like Prime Pettis. What are we talking about? This guy's flying off of cages to win world titles, submitting people, in world titles. He always had so much sauce, so much athleticism to him. And then Roy Jones. I mean, do I have to say anything about Roy Jones? Like, Roy Jones is Roy Jones. He's in the category of himself. Yeah, I know there's Tyson and, that exhibition match and there, but in his prime, Roy Jones, he's on his own planet. He's just living there by himself. There's nobody in there with him. Like Sugar Ray Robinson, I'm a huge boxing fan. That was my first love before I found MMA was obviously boxing. I found it like 6, 7, and it was the same thing, like studious nerd about like boxing. And I obviously grew up idolizing Roy Jones as well as most of us combat junkies are. And I tell you, man, there's nothing like that dude in the world. His athleticism, his meanness, his rawness. That's why, I love this fight. We also have one of the meanest guys to ever step in the cage, Jose Aldo, competing against a little heathen, Jeremy Stevens. How did we pull that one up? That's a crazy one, man. That's a crazy fight.
It's a sick card, man. It's a sick card. April 1st, go check out Game Bred Boxing. It's you guys doing it in Milwaukee?
Milwaukee Bucks Arena. Tickets on Accelerated Ticketmaster. We're gonna be on pay-per-view. We're gonna be on Fight Pass. UFC Fight Pass. You can buy it there or on pay-per-view.
Couple more before we
Give
get
me the exclusive later.
Couple more before I get you out of here, George. You guys get your tickets now, if they're still available. UFC 287, April 8th at Miami-Dade Arena. You do have the welterweight championship coming up. Leon and Kamaru are going to rematch. If Leon wins, if he does, I mean, you versus him, it makes all the sense in the world for a title. How are you going to take that fight in, man? Like the idea of Leon, a guy you have a pass with, are you going to root for him to win? And how do you think that fight goes? How do you think the rematch goes?
You know, I described the first fight very much how I thought it would go in an interview, like 2 weeks prior to the fight. And it went very much like that, where Usman was able to control a lot of the pace and dictate it and land shots and, you know, mix it up with his wrestling and fake the wrestling and strike more. And but I knew that Leon, there was a couple of shots he could land on, and I called it on the interview. I was like, Leon wins probably by the left high kick or something like that, because I just think that Usman with his wrestling could impose himself a little bit more on Leon on more spots. And then if Leon did get an opening, it'd be something like that, like a left high kick or something like that. And sure enough, it caught him. So it showed me, like, man, my MMA math isn't too off on these guys, you know. 1, 2, I think I match up really, really, really well with Leon, because 1, he knows what these knuckles taste like, right? In the flesh, because I didn't have no gloves on when I cracked the bitch. In the flesh, he knows what these bad boys taste like. He's seen the speed, hand straight up. He had his hands up, and I gave him the 3-piece in the soda. And he had his hands up already, ripped them. So he knows that I got next level hand speed. So it's a very good fight for me to get myself back in the mix. And, you know, movie ending, right? We go fight in my city, start all this right, and then go to what's his name's face in his city in Birmingham, whatever arena he wants to do it in England, and that's where I'm gonna kick his ass. I'm gonna bring that belt back to Miami. I'm gonna keep training my ass off, and I'm gonna defend it against everybody that comes my way. I might sound like a crazy man, you know. I got 3 losses in a row, got 3 felonies, I got 3 lawsuits, all in a year. This kind of happened, man. So it's like a lot to take in, you know, a lot of numerology weird going on there too, right? So I gotta make sure I knock this off the park, man. And I do the best when my back's up against the wall. My back's not up against the wall right now. It's like in the wall, you know? So I gotta go with everything I got to end this, man. And I'm gonna start that wish list with Gilbert. But right before that, April 1st, don't miss out my boxing event. We also got Jacare Salsa versus Beto Belfort, man. Come on, dog. What more you want, man? It's on pay-per-view and it's on UFC Fight Pass, okay? Don't tell me no excuses, bro.
Hell of a scrap. You got a busy April coming up. Jorge, thanks so much for the time, man. All the best, healthy camp, and can't wait to see the show. April 8th, UFC 287.
Yes, sir. God bless, brother. Thank you always for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. I always appreciate you giving me time. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Tobin and Leroy here with you. Hey, we got your chance to win a trip for two to see country music great Luke Bryan at Resorts World Las Vegas. We'll give you some cash to help pay for airfare, pick your hotel, give you 2 tickets to the show. All you have to do is go to the Odyssey app, log in, and listen to WQAM.com. Or you guys can go to WQAM.com and listen there. You get 1 entry for every hour that you listen. The more you listen to WQAM, the more chances you have to win. Tickets available now and on sale at AXS.com. Thank you to Jorge Masvidal for the time yesterday. And he listen, that guy, he's on the money with a lot of predictions.
Yeah, he had a little LeBron in him, like you said.
I was like, wow, he seemed to be on the money for a lot of stuff. The Leon Edwards knockout, the Dolphins making the playoffs.
He called how it happened too, like a kick.
How it happened.
Oh wow, okay, interesting.
Just like LeBron when he predicted Kobe with his 81.
He predicted a sellout too. He said tickets are sold out already. Apparently.
Sold out.
Yeah.
They will sell out. I
They
think
will,
it's gonna be a monster.
You realize he was manifesting that.
That's his
Manifesting it, J Fig. That's what I like to. That's what. And also thinks Tua taking judo is a great idea.
Yep.
Which is what I said in the first place, dude.
Yep. This time it's from an expert. Though.
Why are you looking at me like that, Leroy? You don't think judo's a great idea?
Mm-hmm.
He told you it was a great idea.
Okay.
Yeah, but you hear.
Don't compare it to Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, it's like it's so different because now you actually have an expert telling you it's a great idea. So I don't understand why you're dismissing it, Leroy.
Okay.
What?
I'm not dismissing it.
I can see the look in your face.
Oh, really?
What if we tell Gilbert? Because Gilbert's going to join us in a few minutes. If we ask Gilbert Burns and he says it's a great idea, if 2 MMA guys tell us it's a great idea, then you think it's a great idea?
If an MMA guy says another athlete is getting into MMA, of course they're going to be excited about it.
I don't like the way you spun that. I don't like what you did there.
I'm just saying.
Very sassy.
Cheapest tickets, UFC 287. Give me your guess.
$350.
And I'm talking like right behind the Michael Jordan jersey.
Wow. Well, that's not there anymore.
Yeah, I know.
It's $350.
All right, Tobes.
200.
Excellent. J Fig.
$450.
Well, he was getting ready to say 400. I saw your lips.
Did he?
All right. 439. Actually, 440.
Wow.
I honestly didn't even see him.
You went over.
Take a price to match your section.
Yeah, essentially. That'd be nice. For some of those, that'd be a deal. But for a lot of them, as you get closer to the octagon, if you will, you're looking at nothing less than $1,000.
And we're
going to be a hell of a show.
On top of it.
I think there's going to be a lot of celebs there, though.
Yeah,
it's going to be one of those nights. It's going to be there to be seen. That's what
we're going to be right on top of it.
Oh, sorry.
Are they going to
we're
give
all
us
going
our
to be
table
there?
again?
What's that?
Are they going to give us our table again?
Dude, I don't know.
We had
I don't
a nice
know.
little. We had
Pretty
a
big event.
I don't know.
We had a table ringside.
Much bigger fight.
Wow.
I don't know.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I don't
Then
know.
what?
Then the last one we went to, which was Jack Hermanson versus Jacare Souza.
Exactly.
But I will say, usually the UFC very, very kind with that stuff. Better than boxing, to be honest with you. Boxing. What the hell's going on? What does that
Jake
sound?
Paul-
Where is that sound?
What does that sound?
You're probably. Are you hearing people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a meeting going on?
What's going on there? What do you got? Does Scooby
Well,
have the bridge club over?
No, it's actually the boat club is over. So
The boat show.
club.
The boat club. Yes. Yes.
Oh,
So the
so
Wilsons
that
are
meant
over?
that J Fig probably should have came into work.
Oh.
you're telling me this?
Whoa.
1 year at home too?
I don't have a.
Don't start that. Not
I don't
today.
have a boat show at my
Lashing
house.
out here.
I didn't know there was gonna be one at my house.
Wow.
Is there a
Sounds
boat show,
listen.
Charles?
Who's leading that? Your dad?
Yeah.
They better.
What do they do?
better
Talk about
listen.
diving with sharks?
Well, he has his boat, so they're gonna go on the boat today.
Nice.
Wow.
I should have called out clearly.
Hey, is he gonna take me fishing?
Oh, you'd go?
Well, once he finishes repairing his boat, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
but he
will
fishes
set it
by
up.
I
hand,
don't-
Leroy.
Hey,
He
Check
spear
this out.
fishes.
what's the? I need Carfax on all boats I go on.
What?
Okay, but it's fine. It's big enough for you not to drown or fall over or anything. I promise.
I need Carfax. Send me the Carfax. Boat facts.
Send me the Carfax.
Yeah, I want to know what happened. Because last time I went on a boat with my boy, I knew something was up when he put 2 batteries in the boat.
Oh yeah, I remember the story.
No.
So we went to the Everglades. He had to switch batteries. He shot a snake. And we had to stop and run across the 27 to get more bait.
Yeah, no, that doesn't sound like a professional experience. I feel like JK's
it wasn't.
dad runs a tight
It was hood
operation.
fishing.
Doesn't seem good, Leroy. Doesn't seem safe. I was
It
worried.
wasn't safe. I was terrified, especially when he shot the snake. Because I didn't know we needed to take weapons to fish.
Oh, look, Raúl Ibañez followed me on Twitter. He must want more of our ideas.
Oh, I got another one.
Let me know if you got
Think
more
about
ideas to tweet at Raúl Ibañez.
Slip and slide from the third base to home.
We'll take a quick break. Gilbert Burns, the other half of the co-main event, he is going to jump on in. We love Gilbert. This is a tough fight for us.
Yep.
You know,
it's tough.
I mean, Masvidal said he loved Gilbert. There's nothing personal.
If you don't like Gilbert Burns, something wrong with you.
Right.
Like the dude's well, I'll tell you what though, like a monster his last fight.
Wow.
I mean, he buzzsawed right through Neil Magny like that. Just choked his ass out. Did whatever he wanted to with him.
Well, so what are we thinking here? Because, I mean, Masvidal is tough as they come.
Yep.
And
But
Gilbert's
a monster.
He's a monster.
Monster. And he's a monster favorite right now, too. Big dog, Jorge Masvidal.
300 plus?
I think it's even more than that the last I checked.
Gilbert Burns
I'll get
on DraftKings is minus 450. Yeah. BetMGM has him minus 500.
Let's take a break. We'll talk to Gilbert. But before that, you guys want to go to Heat and Hawks?
Yeah.
Caller.
We all do, yes.
6 right now gets a pair of tickets to Heat and Hawks. The number is 305-567-0560. 305-567-0560. If you guys want to go to Heat and Hawks next Saturday, watch Trae Young flirt with his future teammates. Back after this. All right, welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560. Let's get to some headlines here. Brought to you by the new Palmetto Ford Truck Super Center. Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
We know trucks.
Oh, man, double trucks.
Double trucks.
Double truck day, dude. That's what you got going on. Good for you. I'm proud of you. The Miami Heat, they return to action tonight against the Milwaukee Bucks. Tip-off set for 7:30. Coverage on WQAM begins at 6:15 with preheat. Panthers, they take on the Buffalo Sabres. That is at 7 o'clock today. And you guys can hear that.
Action-packed South Florida.
Action-packed, dude. Action.
Everybody's playing except the Dolphins.
Pretty much. Although, a lot of Dolphin fans wanted on Bobby Wagner. Just see he parted ways with the Rams.
What do you think? He's a little older?
A little older. He's gonna be 33 this summer, but he was the number one. He was the number one rated linebacker this year.
What do you think? That sounds like a need.
Bobby Wagner conversation. I'm sorry, I had to answer the phone. Yeah, I want him. I saw that you posted that he was released.
Yeah,
I'll take him. Thank you very much.
Give Wags the bag.
Wow. Okay, come on. You know, Leroy. Leroy did it immediately.
Yeah. All right. Now,
Point
I will say this. Needed position,
Yeah.
right? So
Vet.
definitely improve your defense and what they're trying to do. Got to talk to Vic, though.
Got to talk to Fangs.
Got to talk to Fangs.
Got to make sure it approve. Fangs approved. At only Fangs, you always got to make sure the big Fang likes it.
That's amazing. That's amazing. He was the best rated linebacker in the league, and they parted ways after 1 year.
I think because he wants to win. They stink.
Yeah, I think they're blowing things up over there.
Yeah.
You think? See, I would, people.
That's the price, right? Like when you go all in,
that's what they would do to win a championship.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you would go through 5 or 6 years of what the Rams are getting ready to go through.
It's exactly people. It's exactly what happened to them is exactly what would happen if the Dolphin fan wanted to get Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady. That's exactly what would happen. Is like you take your home run. Now look, they won. I think if you told people first time in 50 years you win a Super Bowl, I think a lot of people would say sign my ass.
Yeah, but no, man.
The Rams, they just got
so
back
upset.
there.
Here's what happens. They win the Super Bowl. Everything gets ridiculously priced because now you got a Super Bowl champ. And then you're in no man's land for the next 10 years. You're not, after like 2 years of it, you ain't going to remember that championship. You're going to say, what are we doing? Come on, man. You're a fan. You know exactly what you would do. You won't say, well, at least we got a championship out of this. You won't say that.
Nah, you will.
No,
I think this town, dude. I mean, you're talking generational. How long it's been?
Would you rather win a Super Bowl and not go to the playoffs for the next 5 or 6 years, or go to the playoffs for 5 or 6 years? And
can't just be go to the playoffs. It's got to be, first of all,
no,
going to the playoffs.
You didn't let me finish. And a championship is not guaranteed, but you're going to contend every year.
I'd rather win the championship.
-1 for Sass.
Why?
Oh, you mimic him.
You interrupted me. You interrupted me before I got a chance to even finish the comment.
It's been 50 years. 50. And they haven't made the play. By the way, they missed the playoffs a lot, and that's in this span too. Haven't won a playoff game in 20 years. Make the playoffs.
I want to be a contender every year. Because eventually you will win. But if you're not in the conversation every year,
you can't say that. It's been 50 years.
Oh, okay, but look at all the teams that contend every year. They're always in the hunt. You can win one of those, but if you put all your eggs in a basket for 1 year, it's no guarantee you're going to win it that year. I'd rather take my chances going to the playoffs every year and knowing that I'm 2 or 3 games away from winning the Super Bowl.
I think you're nuts.
Really?
Yikes.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to go to Twitch right now.
Go ahead. Go to Twitch. Go to the texters. Take all the calls you want. Would you rather the Dolphins be perennial contenders, or would you rather win a Super Bowl and suck for the next? Like, dude, you're talking to a fan base that barely makes the playoffs over the last 20 years.
But that's why I asked the question. Every year in January, do you want to talk about seeding for the next 5 or 6 years and have a chance to win 2 or 3 games to win a Super Bowl? Or do you want to put all of your eggs in one basket to win a Super Bowl, regardless of whether you win it or not, end up like the Rams for the next 5 years?
The only place I don't want to do this is if I have Tom Brady as my quarterback, because I don't want Tom Brady to win me a Super Bowl. But
God.
if you guaranteed me a Super Bowl for anybody else, I think I'm doing it.
But here's the thing. Can you guarantee a Super Bowl?
That's the game. That's what we're doing.
All right.
That's exactly the game we're playing. Right. Would you sell out?
Do you understand? I'm scarred, right?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
We're right there.
Yep. Field goal away.
But there is going to be a level of the Dolphins having to take some more. Like, you're going to take these, potential home run swings because you do have a somewhat of a clock with the quarterback contract. Like, that is what your ideal time to always win is that, like, your 3 through 5 window of your young QB to add all the talent.
Right.
Now, maybe you have somebody who's super special like Patrick Mahomes who can still, deal with him losing his number one receiver, or you could be Tom Brady, or you could be Peyton Manning. You can lose guys.
What I would say about Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes played a season with Kansas City where they were 13-3 and were a really good team. So the situation that he came into was a lot different than some of these quarterbacks that are coming into the league.
That's fine. I'm not disagreeing with you there. But the point is, usually your best chances to win they coincide with you before you having to give the monster contract up. It's like what's hilarious about the Ravens right now, because they're like, well, could you add help for Lamar Jackson? They're like, well, it's going to be hard. We got to pay him. It's like, well, you haven't did it when you didn't pay him either.
Right. In fact, you got rid of talent.
I think you're talking.
You're saying with Josh Allen now they're gonna.
I just think with this city, you're talking about a long time, dude. Like, you're talking about a team that is cherished down here. It's the first team that hasn't won in generations, and you're telling people like, hey, you're gonna win, but then it's gonna be awful. Like, dude, what have I been watching? I've been watching a lot of awful. I've been watching embarrassing. I've been watching scandal.
But that's not where you are now.
It's not where you are now, but it wasn't like, it's not like they were like a 12-win team this year either.
So if there was a move that this team can make for 1 year that can win them the championship, you don't care. You don't care who they have to get rid of, what they have to do. You would want them to make that move, even if it meant.
Except Tom Brady. But yes, to answer your question.
You would want them to make that move, win the championship, and then that's it. Because that almost sounds like what the Jets are going to do with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, but Aaron Rodgers wasn't a Patriot, so I don't care.
And Aaron Rodgers and
he went on a darkness retreat.
Let's be clear. The only guy you could really do that with is Tom Brady.
Nah, I know.
Because Aaron Rodgers only won 1 Super Bowl.
I know.
And being 13-3 and 14-2.
I know. Well, that's what we talked to Gilbert Burns about, and we yelled at him because we said I don't want Tom Brady. Too much pain. Too many ass
He's actually on right now.
He's there? Let's get Gilbert on the show. Let's talk to our guy, Gilbert Burns.
Let's get him on.
Co-main event, UFC 287. Tickets on sale now. And he told us he wanted this fight, and he got it. Jorge Masvidal, he got it, dude. Gilbert Burns. He's got a big-time fight down here in South Florida. Gilbert, what's going on, man?
What's happening?
What's up, guys?
How are you, man?
Guys? Good to see you guys. I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
We're good, man. First of all, last time we talked to you was before your last fight, so congratulations. That was a hell of a performance, man. You were a buzzsaw against Neil Magny. That was amazing.
Thank you. We got to keep that talking before every fight. I got to come here on the show and keep that going on. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now, after that fight, we talked to you before that fight. You weren't sure the Masvidal fight was going to happen. You called out Colby Covington after the win. So take us through all the dominoes falling into place. You do get the matchup you originally wanted. You've been wanting the Masvidal fight. So how do you feel about having it? How do you feel about having it, down here, 2 South Florida guys? That's a fun matchup, man. That's going to be amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited. No, for sure, call out to the guy that the highest ranking possible. Colby Covington. That's the fight that I wanted. But I don't know what's going on with Colby. It's been March. It's going to be 1 year. Okay, for Masvidal. So with that being said, if he doesn't fight until March, he's out of the ranking. So that's why I call. He knows that. So. And that's why I call him out. So the fight didn't happen, and so I beat Neil Magny on Saturday, 21st. On Wednesday, I got a call from the UFC offering me the fight with Masvidal. And for sure, I'm gonna say yes. And they say, it possibly be in Miami, and for sure, yes, double yes now. For sure, I'm fighting.
Right.
And very happy. It's gonna be a big event. Here in Miami, we're both from here. He's a big name for sure, coming from 2 losses, but 2 for the champion, 1 for Kobe. I'm excited. The guy is. I give a lot of credit to the guy, a lot of respect to the guy. That's a very tough fight for me. It's a matchup going on. Looking at the papers, I'm a very hard matchup for him. The guy finally say yes, so I'm excited for this fight.
Thank you to Gilbert Burns. You guys can watch him, UFC 287 at Miami-Dade Arena. What do you think that's going to be like, man? What do you have a lot of friends and family down here? Like, you just fought in Brazil, and you were talking about how excited you were to fight in front of your family there. What is it going to be like fighting in front of, I guess, your second home down here in South Florida? What do you think that's going to be like?
I'm so excited, bro. It's going to be a lot of people. Tickets already on sale today, and a lot of people say he's going to be sold out maybe today or tomorrow. So with that being said, it's gonna be loud. It's gonna be crazy. A lot of friends already got the tickets. A lot of guys from the team. I have 4 teammates fighting at the same night. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one. So I'm very happy with that too, because last year, not my fault, was just 1 fight and it was very hard to find another opponent. Now 2023, 2 fights at home. Brazil now. Here in South Florida, so yeah, I'm excited. I think it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be loud, and I'm looking forward to it.
Gilbert, when you train for fights like this, when you go from fighter to fighter, do you work on you, or do you kind of game plan or get an idea what the other guy is gonna do, and you start preparing to fight that current fighter?
Yeah, so I have 8 weeks preparing for this fight. Right, so the first 4 weeks is focused on me. I still retest it, see where I'm physically at. And then we program all the training. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of strength, and then we're gonna move to speed and everything. So we kind of do all that. But the first month is focused on me. So I'm gonna sharpen all my tools: jiu-jitsu, grappling, wrestling, boxing, and then the last month we start focusing on the guys. So right now I have 6 training weeks for the fight, counting this week. So I still focus on me, but I have 3 guys at the gym that is kind of like the same style as Masvidal, and I'm already working with these guys. So those 3 guys, they are in the UFC. So André Fialho is 170 fighter, 2 fights welterweight, fights at 20 Rush, fights in the UFC. Vicente Luque fight with us too. 20 Rush fights in the UFC, and Kevin Lee. So these 3 guys has very similar style with Masvidal. So I'm already working with this guy, but still doing my own things. Not next week, but 1 more week, then we're gonna strategize. Okay, do more. Even the coach coming here, okay, like kick with this leg. That's what Masvidal do more of this combination. And then we work, and then we start doing strategy on top of my opponent. But we break down that on 2. First phase of the camp is on me, sharpening all my tools, and then the second phase, now we're mimicking the guy, we're getting ready for all these movements, we're doing all the study on the guy.
Cool.
Talking to Gilbert Burns, you guys can watch a fight at UFC 287. Recently won at UFC 283. beat Neil Magny. I mean, just went through him like a knife through butter. I mean, that how does that feel, Gilbert? You like a performance like that where everything just goes to perfection. You said you wanted to, get back to your jiu-jitsu. You get Neil and just do exactly what you want to, and that had to feel amazing to execute something that perfectly.
It does feel good, I'm already moved on, I cannot live on that. I'm very happy with the performance, but I'm already moving on. But I was very happy to be able to go to Brazil with the game plan, and it went better than I thought, because whenever I go to this type of fights, I'm ready for war if I have to go to, but the best case scenario was getting a knockout or submission in the first round. And I did that, and it didn't get nothing on my face. It didn't get hit once, no significant strike. So that was better than I thought,
Right.
Do you focus at all? Like, I was interested. We talked to George yesterday, and he's even talking about, like, he knows this is possibly a career. His career's on the line basically with this fight. Do you recognize that too, about possibly taking on a really desperate fighter, because he knows, like, if he doesn't win this fight, he realizes his title hopes are probably dashed? And does that change your mentality at all? The idea that you could basically, kind of put the blow. And he said he had a lot of respect for you as far as an opponent's concerned. He knows how dangerous you are, but also that, if he doesn't win this, it could be curtains for George.
I agree, but with that being said, I picture that he's putting a crazy amount of work to finish me, to get a spectacular finish. I agree. I think it's a do or die situation for George. But on the same time, I say, man, that guy got to be working his butt off. He's got to come like very dangerous. He's going to look different. So with that being said, that makes me work even harder. Like, man, no way I'm losing to this guy at home. He's going to come crazy. I don't want to lose, So got me even more fired up to training a little bit more, and get ready for this guy. I respect that. I know he comes from 3 losses. Guy get over 50 fights, so much experience. I have a lot of respect to him too, but I know he might come a little bit more motivated to this fight, so I gotta work even harder.
Gilbert, we know you're a monster Dolphins fan. Since we've last talked to you, we have learned that Tua Tagovailoa is apparently going to take judo to help him learn to fall, to help, I guess, avoid concussion. Is this a ridiculous idea? Is this a smart idea? What does Gilbert Burns think about the Dolphins quarterback taking judo to learn how to fall and avoid concussions?
Man.
It's
is
okay.
That for real? Is that for real?
That's what he says, dude. He says he's taking judo.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
He got to come and train with us. I can help him how to fall, get back up, front rows. Wow, it's not a bad thing, but I think that's the first lesson that you learn when you do jiu-jitsu and judo. First day, your first class, you're learning how to fall so you don't get injured, don't break your arm. But in judo, you don't have like 3 guys running after you, and so it is a little bit different approach. But yeah, I think I don't know. He gotta do what he's good for him. But I have good news. You know who reached out to me who's going to the fight for the Miami Dolphins? Let's see if you guys.
Who?
Who you think?
Who you just out of any who's going to play for the Dolphins? Who reached out to you?
No. Who from the Miami Dolphins is going to the fight?
Oh, is going to the fights? I'm going to go Cheetah. Is Cheetah going with you? Is Tyreek Hill going to go?
No, he might, but no, he didn't reach out. One more, last one.
I'm going to go Waddle. Waddle?
No, Mostert.
Oh!
Hey.
He's going to the fights.
Mostert's going to the fight. We've been kind of texting each other, like every time that I was in the game, I reach out, hey, brother, good game, and then he reach out back, and then he was watching the fight in Brazil, and then whenever he saw it now, he said, I'm going to the fight, and I said, let me hook you up. So I put him in contact with the guys in the UFC. I guess he's going to be there for the fight.
Cool.
That's awesome, man. That's cool. That's got to be an awesome experience for you. Got to be an awesome experience for your kids too. We know how much they're loving the football as well.
Yeah, they love it. They crazy with Mostert. Yeah,
that's awesome, yo. Before we get you out of here, man, before your fight, there's going to be the welterweight title fight between Usman and Leon again, the rematch. You got to have a lot of interest, I'd imagine. How do you think that plays out? Kamaru had that one in the bag before he got kicked in the head. How do you think the rematch goes?
It's going to be a lot of mental game on that one. I think Leon lost the first one, was losing the second one, but then he did what he did, you know. And then I got to give a lot of credit to his coach, because whenever he was losing the fight, going to the fourth round, those coaches, you know, the way I see Leon as a train, he was going out of the trail, you know, he was losing the fight. And those coaches, they saw that happening, and they give us such a good speech. They put that guy back in trail, and he was able to capitalize that crazy knockout. So with that being said, I think those coaches, they do a very good job. But I think the fight's gonna be very, very close. But I gotta give a little bit edge for Leon Edwards, because two things. Now he's fighting at home, and those all these fans from England, they crazy, bro. You saw those guys on a soccer game, like they're wild. So it's gonna be a lot of pressure on Kamaru. And secondly, and most important, Kamaru used to be the pound for pound king champion. So with that being said, he's the red corner. When you're the red corner, the blue corner walking first. So, and then you do your walk. You guys, they're waiting for you. Sometimes you take your time, like Kamara did a couple of times, come dancing, taking his time. But now it's the opposite. Now Kamara walking first with the whole crazy arena, all England booing him, putting a lot of pressure. He's gonna be there just waiting, and then Leon Webb is coming with the crazy arena, with the crowd going crazy. So let's see how Kamara gonna handle that mentally, and let's see how that first round goes. It's gonna be a very close fight. I'm gonna keep my eyes on. I'm not gonna move. Popcorn will be there. I'm gonna be like Tony, crazy, watching all the details and making my notes. But I gotta give a little bit of edge for Leon. But I think it's gonna be a close, super close fight.
Well, we appreciate the time, Gilbert, man. Have a great, healthy camp. We
Yep.
can't wait to see the show.
Can't wait.
Looking forward to you versus Jorge at UFC 287. Tickets available now. Miami-Dade Arena. Get them there before they sell out. Thank you for always giving us time, man. We appreciate it, and we can't wait to see your fight.
Thanks, Gilbert.
Thank you guys for having me. Go get your tickets. It's gonna be sold out very soon. Go get your tickets. Let's go.
There you go. Gilbert Burns join us here. We'll take a quick break. 15 minutes of heat. Kevin Love's debut tonight. That's next. right, 15 minutes of heat for you here on 560 WQAM. Before we get into some heat talk, Jason Aldean coming to the I Think Financial Amphitheater in West Palm this October. You guys can enter to win at WQM.com, and you might be on your way to see this country music star. Those tickets courtesy of Live Nation. Check out livenation.com for more great shows. Thanks to Gilbert Burns for joining the show. Appreciate him. Thanks to Jorge Masvidal for the time. We appreciate him. Thanks to Raúl Ibañez for dealing with our silliness. And I think that's it. It's a lot of guests for us. We don't typically do that. We've done a lot of guests this week. We don't typically do that many guests.
A lot of good guests.
A lot of good guests. I can't say we've had any stinkers.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's been fantastic. So thank you to everybody for giving us some time this week. And you guys can watch us live right now, Miami 560 WQAM. I know we've been dealing with some signal issues, so hopefully some of you have found your way to us either via the app on Odyssey or WQM.com or Twitch or YouTube or the HD signal, whatevs. You know, you guys are resourceful. I trust you. Before the end of this thing, we will give away one more pair of tickets to Heat and Hawks for next weekend. But tonight, the Heat are back in action against the Milwaukee Bucks. Yesterday, Kevin Love, he spoke to the media. And, listen, I got to say, I didn't think I was going to get this goose enthralled with Kevin Love, but I got to say he swayed me. He has swayed me.
Yeah.
I think you swayed yourself. I feel like you hyped it up so much that now you're just all goosed up.
I don't know. You know, hard to say, J-Fig. Hard to say. I don't know if that's – I don't know if one chicken and the egg kind of theory. All I know is this Kevin Love, he seems to say the right thing that gets me enamored. So
it's K-Love time. Love. Let's go.
Yep. I always said that.
I really hope he lives up to your expectations.
I hope he does too. I hope him and Bam, simpatico. I hope that they work together on the court really well. They already seem to have a little bit of a bromance. And sometimes you just need a little bromance to get through things.
This is how you're getting carried
Except
away, by
for
the way.
Ron from Love Island. Ron and Tom and Kai. A bunch of players, a bunch of heartbreakers out there on this Love Island.
What season is this?
The new one.
But
I don't know what number it is, but
the
it's
UK?
a brand new. Yeah. I don't watch Americans.
You confused me one hell of a lot on the chat yesterday.
Well, I only like UK, although I do like the infusion of some Australians into this. I think that's fun. I think
because of the accents.
I just like the mix of it. I like the mix of it of how it is. Just very similar to how I'm going to like the mix of Kevin Love and Bam Adebayo on the court together. Yep.
Look at that. It all comes together.
And don't forget we get Victor Oladipo back, okay? Y'all must have forgot
I did.
what Victor Oladipo is bringing to the table.
Yes.
Okay? So not only are we getting Kevin Love back, we're getting Victor Oladipo back. We got Cody Zeller. Oh, we don't have Omer Yurtseven. He's still hurt.
Still.
Which I'm a little embarrassed about. Like, I thought he was going to be back, and,
They made it sound like he was coming back right after the break.
They did make it sound like that.
I heard
and
he's
now,
going to Sioux Falls. Is that true?
I don't know.
I think Spo said that in his press conference.
Did he?
yesterday.
That just get him a little run?
Yeah.
Did he say that?
That's what was reported in the Heat chat by Mrs. Courtney Fallon. I trust her. I trust her.
I trust her too.
Yep.
Okay. So that's probably smart. Get his what's the word? His basketball legs under him,
There you go.
Dude, can I just say I have stooped to a whole new level.
Why?
Oh, okay.
I had to help Big Spoon put a bra on.
How is that a new level of
As the
Because I'm a guy. We spent our whole life trying to get him off.
okay, so what? That's your wife. Help her.
I know.
Love is love.
Yeah, help her, man.
Love is love.
I listen.
She helped you during your surgeries, okay?
I know my way.
Okay.
I know. I just wore sweats, but I know my way around the area. But I'm just used to going the other way. It was a little confusing that I was
alternative route.
Yeah.
Fair. Yep.
Got to use two hands. It's right.
I slow rolled it.
Yep.
I'm sure
goes,
is
"Man,
that why
it's
you were
taking-
late?
It's taking you a long time to do this. I said,
Tough. I'm sorry. I think we fumbled a clip.
Oh well. I give you credit though, Leroy. You're looking out after she looked out for you. You're just.
Oh yeah. I'm always.
In a lot of ways, Kevin Love is like a bra.
Okay.
-1, please.
Why?
Yeah. How is he like a bra?
Almost choked on my coffee. Thanks.
Which is amazing because up until 2 weeks ago, you called him a boob.
Point for Leroy.
Now it's full circle.
Yeah, now he's here for support.
Point for
No chance. None. Zero. What are we doing?
This is how he's sending us off.
If you guys want to go to Heat and Hawks, caller 8 right now. To 78. What the hell's the number?
There
I
you
lost.
go.
305-567-0560. For some reason, I'm like all
demand.
790'd up today.
Yeah, for sure.
305-567-0560. Caller 8 will get a pair of tickets to Heat and Hawks. We'll play a little You Dead to Me to wrap things up on the other side.
The results are in.
All right. Time to bury some people. You're dead to me. That's what we do every single Friday.
You're dead to me.
Margos, have I missed anything else? Do I got to let any other business I got to take care of before I get out of here? So I don't want any weekend text from Galen.
No, I think you handled everything unless you want to.
And I got to let you guys know about
Luke Bryan.
If you guys want to go see Luke Bryan in Las Vegas, all right, couple tickets, some airfare, some hotel action, listen to WQAM on the Odyssey app. You log in and listen, all right, so they know it's you. And every hour that you listen, you get an entry to this contest. You also go to WQAM.com and enter. And the more you listen, the more chance you have to win, all right? And it's been great seeing all the feedback from it. And now you all have to fight. I'm just, that's we didn't put that fine print in there. Yeah, you all actually have to get into a power slap contest.
For what? For tickets?
Yes, that's right.
To see Luke Bryan?
That's right.
Yeah.
So congratulations. You have all made it to the next round. No, I'm just kidding. Just listen to the Odyssey app, and you guys will get more chances to win, to see Luke Bryan in Las Vegas and drink beer.
No, you know what? Change it up.
Oh.
Give me another song.
Country girl, shake it for me.
Shake it for me,
girl. Tickets are on sale now at axs.com. All right, here's who's dead to me.
Yes.
So I am going to this warehouse district kind of area thing every single day this week. All right, because it is where my daughter does cheerleading classes and where my son does jujitsu. So
same area.
It's literally the same building, but it's the same
good.
warehouse whole thing. So the cheerleading school is on one side of the wall. The jujitsu. It's how we found the jujitsu school. It's so going back there tonight for jujitsu.
I never trust a warehouse. No, I'm kidding.
Here's the thing with warehouses. All right, they are ripe for idiot workouts. Okay, and people particularly who do CrossFit. Okay,
it's very
now
true.
I don't have anything against CrossFit other than doing it because look at me, but it is stupid. I mean, you people are hanging upside down like three-toed sloths while like lifting a lot of weight. It's really, really dumb. But the thing that drives me nuts about it is they soup up these gyms, with their confounded devices, and they have it all this, so they have no room in the gym to actually run, no room for treadmills. So then they go and run around. Well, this damn class that has been that always warms up or is doing their little warm up for their CrossFit
They run
workout,
warming up.
they are running willy-nilly in the streets. And Leroy, they don't stop. They think the rules don't apply to them. And so the thing with the warehouse is you're trying to sneak around the corners. You're trying not to hit anybody. And these people, they don't care. They're just like, nothing's going to get in front of my workout. Whomp! I've almost taken out 9 people this week in this parking lot because none of them, I'm not on a stop sign either. I'm on my turn. But these people running all through lanes of traffic, all through the warehouse streets, willy-nilly, so they can get their CrossFit on. It's driving me nuts, Leroy. Someone is going to get hurt and going to get hit, and they're going to blame the driver, and it's not our fault because we can't see you dum-dums. And here's another thing. When it gets a little bit dark, do me a favor, runners. Throw on a reflector, okay? I don't have night vision. I am not a cat, okay? Well, what do you expect? I'm just supposed to see you? You look like a shadow phantom. All right, Becky with your ponytail. All right, unless you're wearing bright pink Lululemon.
It's always a Becky.
Wait,
I can't see you.
Why does this sound personal?
Lululemon. This is very personal.
It's so annoying. They're sitting here in their entire one-piece gear, running willy-nilly through the streets. I'm trying to get out of cheerleading / jiu-jitsu class, and I can't because there's a parade of you trying to warm up so you guys can do upside-down side bend curls.
That Lululemon costs more than the class.
It's annoying.
So
Dead to me.
Solid.
I'm gonna one up you on this
Oh wow, you're dead
because I start going back to the gym, and I figured, you know what? I'm gonna start, doing a little weights or whatever. So it's early in the morning. Get my little ride in on the bike. I say I'm gonna do a little bench, nothing less. 3 sets of 25 with just like 30-pound weights. Nothing. Right? I grab the weights. I go over to where the benches are. 2 benches are missing. 2 people, not one, 2 people decided to put this puppy on wheels and drag it over by the mirror so they could watch themselves do the ridiculous hip thrust on the back of the bench.
Yeah, I have noticed this.
I'm
this
like,
thing-
throw it on the ground.
when did we get to the point where people were bringing tripods to the gym to film
That
themselves?
too.
That
Yes.
makes me so angry.
Yes.
I'm like, hey,
Leave
hey,
your tripod at home.
you either have a friend who films you or you lean up against a machine, but you're not Scorsese, okay?
It's unbelievable what these people do at the gym. I'm like, these people have gone through extensive studies to figure out where to place these machines and these weights. And at 6:30 in the morning, some knucklehead has decided that's not the way he wants it. So I'm like, why film it all? That's what I think, Doc. Like, what? Come on.
You're dead to me.
Like, I
Instagram
understand.
listen, can I just tell you this? Instagram models do not go to the gym at 6 in the morning.
That's
the people that are at the gym are not Instagram models. They're barely hanging on. And I just want you to know that doesn't happen. But I will tell you this. At 7:30, they need to send a crew up to put all the damn equipment back where it started.
J Fig, who's dead to you?
You're
Couldn't
dead.
agree more, Leroy. Couldn't agree more. It frustrates me too. That's why I stopped going to the gym.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Me too.
I wanted you to say that.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean, we got you.
Well, my dead to me goes to a Brendan Tobin.
What?
Oh!
Whoa!
What did he do?
What did you
I know
do?
he did
You
some
literally,
shenanigans.
okay. We all got hyped up off Cocaine Bear
Oh, yeah.
together, okay? And you
Uh-huh.
brought it up. And
Mhm.
we all said we were going to do a little field trip together
Yep,
and
yep,
watch
yep.
it. You said you're dead to me and said there's no field trip going on.
You're dead to
There's
me.
not.
Wow.
Let's be
So
real about
I'm
it. We're not
hurt.
putting a
I'm
field
hurt
trip
that you do
together.
not want to go to the movie theater with us.
We're not doing
It's
a field
true.
trip. Let's be real about it. We're not
Why
going to
can't
do a
we-
field
I
trip.
was
together.
very serious about it.
Why
You guys
can't we
didn't
just
even
go
come
one
to the
day
Super
after
Bowl
work?
party.
Wow,
But
because
we were
I
busy.
had to run a casino in someone else's house.
That kind of sounds illegal, Marcos.
If you guys want to
Just
go
on this
see,
episode.
if you guys want to see Cocaine Bear next week, we can go to
Yes.
Cocaine Bear.
What day?
Alright.
Somewhere
Why
between.
don't we just go
We can just go after the
afterwards
show.
before a
Alright.
Heat game,
Hmm.
and then you can just
Ooh. Twofer?
yeah.
Nice. Very thoughtful of you, Leroy.
Well, I'm just saying, no need in him being stuck. So
Yep,
he's
yep,
gonna
yep.
hang out anyway. So
I'm not stuck. I'm happy to hang out with you guys.
really,
No, we
Clearly
need,
you were. You canceled right away.
Right, you
That's
just-
being
Hold on,
real.
you're
We're
on.
going to go to Cocaine Bear together. And
Come
how
on,
is
us
it,
we're all
Kate
very
Yogi?
excited.
where
to
else are
watch
you
it.
gonna get to see a bear doing snow angels?
Fair point.
I mean,
Marcos,
that
what do
bear
you-
went from doing snow angels to snatching up a woman. That was just in the previews.
Marcos, what do you have for dead to me?
I'm gonna kind of go against the grain for a second. I told him I'd do this, and I owe him one. So this person is actually the opposite of dead to me. I do have a dead to me. I'll keep this quick. This morning I got pulled over. Right, I got caught doing that move there on Golden Glades, where on the shoulder you
Old
attempt to skip
Kutskis.
everyone. Yeah, old Kutskis.
When are people going to realize that cop's there every day?
Oh, he's hiding though. This time he was hiding. He's on a motorcycle.
So
He's
when is
hiding.
Marcos gonna realize?
Oh yeah, I wasn't paying attention. I was on the phone. He was kind enough to say, "Hey man, you know, you kind of don't have the best driving record. If I were to give you this ticket, not only is it $180, it would also add points to your license, raising your insurance, and I don't want to do that to you. So I'm gonna let you off with a warning."
Wow.
Yes, I
That's
was
nice of him.
Officer Sanchez from the motorcycle unit in Miami-Dade County.
Well, do you think he wants you
You
exposing
think he wants to
that
know
is-
that he's not?
No, he
bringing
told me.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So he wanted a shout
I'm
out.
also
He said if he didn't get a shout out, he'd break my legs on the way home.
Oh, okay.
Something like that.
Well,
more or
shout out
less.
to Officer
Wait,
Sanchez.
On the
for sure.
motorcycle, I got to tell you, not
Yeah.
for nothing.
Yeah.
Motorcycle cops don't look the most athletic. I think you could take them.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Once
That's
again,
a-
fat
Don't
shaming.
say that on
You like to
air.
fat shame people sight unseen.
I'll take my Leroy compliments where I can get
Dude,
them.
I'm
right?
telling you what.
Don't-
I see two guys riding on the motorcycles, and I'm like,
So who's really dead to you?
So who's really dead to me is Spirit Airlines.
Oh,
my
Oh.
gosh!
Oh.
Like some of
Did
the,
you feel? Can you feel the bars on your booty when you sit on the seat?
I literally can. How does
I
it
can't
save
do
you
it.
money as an airline to not be able to recline your seat? How does that save you money?
I
Because
don't
if
know.
it fit more people, and the ticket is $35, but if you want to put a cheek in
But
the
the
seat, it costs you
carry-on-
$85.
Yep.
The carry-on is
They
90
charge you for
bucks.
carry-on. They charge you for
Everything,
luggage.
man.
So when you're all
Water.
done, it's a $300 ticket.
It all turns out to be the same as any other airline
Yeah.
out there. Goes to a safer route.
Water was $4. The
Water.
the clientele.
Wow.
Right? I just had enough of Spirit. You're dead to me, Spirit.
Oh, also dead to me.
You're dead to me.
Ron from Love Island.
Whoa,
I mean, this guy.
my gosh.
You're
You're dead to me.
disrespecting Lana.
How dare
What
he?
are you are a child.
Does Ron come in the very beginning, or he's like? an
Oh, right
add-on
off the
later?
bat. That's the
Okay,
thing.
so I'm
Him and-
gonna watch the first episode.
Oh, you're gonna be hooked. It's a great season. It's better than the Tommy Fury season.
Tell you what, though, this Tom, as handsome as you said,
Handsome. Idiot, though.
Is he? I don't know.
He's a dummy.
A
You'll
handsome
see.
idiot. Would you rather be a smart, ugly dude or a handsome idiot?
Handsome idiot.
Yeah.
No.
Really? You, J-Fig, you wouldn't know the difference because when you see him, he ain't talking.
maybe
Either
that's
by
why
the
I'm
time,
not-
yeah, I'm telling you. I
All
wanna
right.
be a handsome idiot.
You can be a handsome idiot, but the second I get very annoyed of you,
But that's okay. That's okay.
Still
I'm
handsome.
good with that.
no,
But I'm handsome. You gonna look. See?
that's all you'll get.
All right.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. His name is Adam Shank.
Yes.
Get out of here.
I promise you. Spell Lido Deck.
Oh, I worked on a boat.
Lido.
No, it's Lido.
Is
Oh,
this the,
sorry, I said it. My bad.
Why buy your truck at a car store? Palmetto Ford.
Lynn took my toy.
Get over here, Marcus. Let me lick you.
Highlight me and put me on there. I don't give a like.
2-1 filthy.
I see y'all when I see y'all.
Hope you mother have a good day.